labeled it a hate crime. Police Chief Brian O'Hara.
This is a deranged individual who, like so many other mass shooters, had an obsession with previous mass shootings that was looking to cause as much trauma and carnage as possible for their own personal notoriety.
Some of the 17 wounded yesterday have been released from the hospital. Federal Reserve Governor Lisa Cook has filed a lawsuit to challenge President Trump's move to fire her, calling it unprecedented and illegal. Fired CDC chief is vowing to stay on her job. Former CDC Director Richard Besser calls the firing chilling.
I would expect that whoever comes into the role as CDC director will not be a public health leader, but will more likely be a political appointee.
Now overseas. Russian drone and missile attacks in Ukraine's capital, Kyiv, are blamed for 18 deaths. CBS's Chris Livesay.
There has been global condemnation, especially within the European Union, from Germany to France to the UK, and especially from the European Union itself, all of them calling this an act of terror.
The White House called it egregious. Nevada officials now say personal information was compromised in a recent cyber attack on the state's computers.
The state's chief information officer, Tim Galuzzi, acknowledges some data were moved outside the state's network.
We cannot yet identify or classify the specific nature of this data.
The ransomware attack has crippled several state agencies, including the DMV. By one estimate, there have been more than 500 ransomware attacks on governments across the country since 2018. UNLV cybersecurity expert Greg Moody.
The most likely lessons learned should be reach out to your other state counterparts and share information so the same attack doesn't work against them.
Michael Wallace, CBS News.
In the eastern U.S., new, faster Amtrak Acela trains are in service today. In all, 28 new ones will be rolled out by the end of 2027. CBS News transportation correspondent Chris Van Cleve aboard one.
Part of the selling point of the new Acela is it's supposed to feel a lot more like a train you'd ride in Europe or in Asia. Amtrak says it's also faster. In fact, the goal is to shave about 15 minutes off the trip between D.C. and New York, doing it with more people on board while using less power.
And checking Wall Street, the Dow is down 3 points. The S&P and NASDAQ are trading a bit higher. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
A day after a mass shooting in Minneapolis, Seattle schools look at bringing cops back. The story coming up. But first, KIRO Newsradio traffic. In Sumner, you have a crash northbound on State Route 167. At 24th, you're slow from Costco down to 167. A crash just cleared on southbound 405 near Coal Creek Parkway. You're slow to Woodinville. Travel times Bellevue to Renton, 27 minutes. That's 10 longer than typical. Other travel times, Everett to Seattle, 32 minutes. Federal Way to Seattle, 54. Renton to Bellevue, 37. And your lake bridges are nearly clear. Traffic brought to you by KIRO, the KIRO Radio Rundown. Text newsletter to 888-973-5476 and subscribe to the daily KIRO News Radio Rundown.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch. King County has agreed to pay $21.5 million to settle a lawsuit brought by a jogger who was viciously attacked by two dogs in February of 2022. The dogs were living with squatters at a home in unincorporated Auburn.
People in our neighborhood are getting really upset.
At the time, neighbors like Kristen Purvis there told KIRO 7 TV they complained to the county repeatedly about the home and the dogs. As part of the settlement, attorneys say the property owner will sell that home. The principal of the Catholic school at the center of yesterday's mass shooting,
and we will recover from this,
has close connections to Seattle. Matthew DeBoer spent 8 years as principal at St. Therese Catholic Academy in the Madrona neighborhood. DeBoer's wife was also a teacher at Holy Names in Seattle. The family moved to Minneapolis in 2022. On the same day of the mass shooting, the Seattle School Board held a meeting to discuss bringing police officers back to Garfield High School, but with limits. KIRO 7 TV's Samantha Lomibao explains.
Recent Garfield graduates say more should have been done to keep students safe after the shooting death of Amar Murphy-Payne in June 2024.
I've seen a whole school year without noticeable real change.
We need someone we can run and get and know that we're going to be safe.
SBS is considering a 1-year pilot program with Seattle Police to get school engagement officers, or SEOs, on Garfield's campus. instead of school resource officers, which were removed district-wide in 2020.
Engagement officers would emphasize talking with and building trust with students. If an arrest was needed, a separate police unit would be brought in to do that. A $10,000 bench warrant's been issued for the captain of a container vessel accused of being drunk at the helm in Seattle. Ole Danilin didn't show up for his pretrial hearing yesterday. The Coast Guard arrested him last week. He has pleaded not guilty. The Seattle Mariners with a series win after their 4-3 victory over the San Diego Padres yesterday, thanks in large part to this guy.
It is gone into the Mariners bullpen. Gino smashes one again.
Eugenio Suarez drove in 3 runs with his 42nd home run of the year. The M's get today off before hitting the road again, heading to Cleveland to take on the Guardians. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Showers tapering off today with highs near 80. It is 64 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO Newsradio App. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
What's up, everybody? It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Happy Thursday. Look, I don't even know what date it is. Oh, I think it's August 28th, but I know one thing. The thrill is gone. Summertime is over. You can tell. You can smell it in the air when you came out this morning. Ursula, I know you don't want to hear it, but guess what? While I say summer, what I smell?
Yeah.
Fall. You know what I'm saying? You ever go out, your mama, you go inside the bed, you smell like outside. Go get in the bath. Well, right now, it smells like fall.
Smells like fall.
I don't know what it smells like.
Except the summer, you're going to say, oh my gosh, I guess summer's not over. This weekend it's supposed to get warm again. It's just the clouds have moved in.
But I don't want anybody to be sad.
Yes.
Because the best season is here.
Yes,
College football this weekend is here. Good morning, Ursula.
Good morning. Hey, remember I was telling you yesterday about King County just shelling out all sorts of money?
You get some money? You get a check? You get a check?
Yeah.
What they do?
King County is paying out millions and millions of dollars more to settle yet another lawsuit.
You live and work in King County. You're fine.
Stop. So we'll talk about that coming up at 9:30. Right now, we invite you to join us on our KIRO News Radio text line, 888-973-5476, 888-973-KIRO.
All right, let's see what Ursula's got cooking today. Ursula's top stories of the day brought to you by Bath Fitter Northwest.
And unfortunately, we're going to have to start with this tragedy out of Minnesota. 2 children were killed, 17 others were injured in a mass shooting at Annunciation Catholic School in Minneapolis. Of those hurt, 14 were children between the ages of 6 and 15. Police say, thankfully, they are all expected to survive. This 5th grader was sitting in one of the pews when the gunfire erupted. He says his best friend covered him to keep him safe, and that boy ended up getting shot in the back.
It was super scary because, we've never practiced it in the church. We've only practiced it in the main school, so we really didn't know what to do. We just got into the pews and he shot through the stained glass windows. Yeah.
And did you ever see him?
My friend ran, someone helped him run out. He saw him. He was wearing all black and he had a ski mask on.
This suspect has been identified as a 23-year-old former student at the school, also a parishioner. He ended up taking his own life in all of this. The suspect had legally purchased 3 firearms, a rifle, a shotgun, and a pistol, which police say were all used in the attack. And authorities are now combing through hundreds of pieces of evidence, including his writings and some disturbing online posts like this one, this is just a small clip of it.
Tomorrow, I'm sorry to my family. But that's it. That's the only people I'm sorry to. Those kids.
Federal officials say they're investigating this as a possible hate crime and domestic terrorism. Also interesting to note, this tragedy hits close to home for Seattle's Catholic community as well, because Annunciation's principal, Matt DeBoer, is a familiar name here. He previously led St. Therese Catholic School for 8 years before moving to Minnesota. His wife taught at Holy Names. At a news conference yesterday, DeBoer called this shooting a nightmare, but pledged that his staff, who he calls the Dream Team, will rebuild.
And we will recover from this. We will rebuild from this.
Now, all of this had taken place already before we started the show yesterday, and we were getting more details. And as we explained to our listeners at the end of the show, we chose not to do wall-to-wall coverage during the show, but left it in the newscast because we wanted to get more information. And now we've had a little more time to read into this, and just want to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, and we heard from our listeners, because at the end of the show, we asked our listeners, did we do the right thing? And our listeners said, yes, we did, by not covering it right there. That sometimes they just don't want that. And even though that this is a very tragic thing, but overnight, Ursula, I've had some time to think about this. And I thought, I know that you and I are going to talk about it, and I want to try to be and do things a little different. I'm speaking for myself. What I don't want to do is I don't want to have a gun control debate. I don't want to argue about who the shooter is. I don't like that the trans community right now is being demonized. I don't like any of that. So I decided today to do something different. I want to talk about what I believe would be simple strategies that in my heart that I believe that would make things different going forward. 70 years ago today is when Emmett Till was killed, Chicago boy that had gone down to Mississippi, and Carolyn Bryant had made accusations saying that he was talking verbally bad towards her, and they went and grabbed Emmett Till and beat him and tortured him and threw him in the water. Mamie Till, which was Emmett Till's mother, made the decision to have an open casket. Now, previous to 1955, it has always been talked about what had been happening in the South, what had been happening in situations like this countless times. But never has the body been shown. And the reason why I'm bringing up Emmett Till, because there's many Emmett Tills, and if I say Emmett Till, you know that name. And the reason why you know that name is because of the way Mamie Till decided to do it. She decided to have an open casket so the world could see what's actually going on. And as we all know, 10 years later, you have the Civil Rights Act. Here's where I'm at today. We could keep talking. Everybody wants to make everything about this and that. We don't even hear from the babies like that. We finally did hear from the baby that you just played. Make it to where people get to see what is happening to these babies in school. That's the only way we are going to get change. That's the only way we're not going to have this same reoccurring thoughts and prayers and gun control debate, and then who the shooter was, and then back over again, normal news cycle until it happens again. So I don't want to argue about these things. I just hope that in the future that we as a society care more about babies being killed in school than we do about a Cracker Barrel logo. So that's how I'm deciding to go about this topic. I want to see change. I'm praying, and you be proud of me, Ursula. I have hope that one day that there will be change.
And I wish I were as hopeful, but I want to ask all of you listening right now, I mean, what would it really take if it's not Newtown, if it's not what happened in Minneapolis? I immediately, you mentioned, because the suspect in this case, who I'm choosing not to name, I'm choosing not to give the attention that person wanted for all of this. It's obviously all out there, but the question would be, what would it take policy-wise, culture-wise, for us to finally make school shootings less common? The fact that you heard that fifth grader say, yeah, we practiced for this, but we just hadn't practiced for this specific thing in the church.
Right.
I mean, that is something that kids born today are always going to have. Drills for what do you do with a school shooting.
Mm-hmm.
And I looked at some other countries to see, like, why is it that other countries,
nobody has more.
one school shooting and they change their laws immediately.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look at what happened in Australia. Look what happened in New Zealand. Look at what happened in the United Kingdom, Norway, Canada. But we can have Columbine, we can have Sandy Hook, we can have Parkland, Uvalde, you name it. I mean, I don't even know that showing kids in caskets would do it.
It's never been done. It's never been done. So it's time to do it because I don't think that the message is getting out there. Right? Here's the thing. Right now, you said you're not going to mention the suspect's name. You don't have to. Because right now, there's two things that's being talked about.
Yep.
Right? There is, oh my goodness, there's a demonization of the Catholic Church. They're demonizing prayer. Oh my goodness, look at what the trans community's done. Oh my goodness, look at all the shootings that happened.
Yeah. The suspect also, and I'm just going to put it out there because someone's going to say, well, why didn't you mention Kristi Noem pointed out that he has had hatred for Donald Trump. I mean, so people are more busy trying to figure out it's because he was woke or he is, is right wing or left wing or whatever it is. It's like, meanwhile, kids are being killed.
We will talk more about that than the 8 and 10-year-old.
Yes.
That's no longer here. We will talk more about that than the young babies that were in that church that will be impacted for life. So again, this whole thing about, and then they say, well, what about mental health? I just want everyone to know.
We have lack of mental health resources.
When we discuss mental health,
yes,
I want everyone to know that mental health problems are not just a United States thing. No. It's a worldwide thing. The only difference and what sets the United States apart from the rest of the world, we are just a society that has more guns than people in it, and we're also the society that has more school shooting and more acts of violence with a gun. We are number one in the world.
Yep.
So while you talk about mental health, just remember, mental health is a thing worldwide. So again, Ursula, our conversations, you look on social media, amongst everybody's talking more about everything else except for the 8 and 10-year-old and except for the people that were truly there that were impacted. That's why politicians, leaders, we're hearing from adults. When are we going to start hearing from more kids? Let's talk to the kids. What do the kids want? Mm-hmm. What do the kids want? Hey, kids, the ones that were in it, what can we do to make you feel safer? But we keep hearing the political side of what is safe, what is right, what is wrong. So I hope that we won't be talking about this again, but I hope that I'm going to do better in talking about this in a different way.
Okay, let's move on. 2 firefighters battling the Bear Gulch blaze on the Olympic Peninsula were arrested by federal agents right in the middle of an active fire zone. So crews on the scene say Border Patrol showed up around 9:30 in the morning yesterday and ordered firefighters to line up for ID checks. Some of them were told not to film in photos and video, though agents can be seen handcuffing 2 crew members, even though there was no explanation given for why they were being taken into custody. The incident management team overseeing the fire says they were aware of the operation, but they insist it didn't interfere with firefighting efforts. Federal agencies, including Department of Homeland Security and ICE, are not commenting on this. As you know, this fire is now Washington's largest active wildfire. Nearly 9,000 acres have burned. Containment, not even at 20% yet. One firefighter who witnessed the arrest said, "You risk your life to save the community, and this is how they treat us?"
Yeah. It's no words, right? Like, and Ursula, it feels like, I'm not blaming you because you're just giving us the news. It feels like lately that your news topics are ones where it's not the same thing. Like this topic right here, like, wait, what? They pulled him off to the side and they took 3 hours to do this? Like it's almost as if I didn't know you, I would think that you're making up that story.
No.
And by the way, we're not going to do that is this what you wanted? Nobody wanted this.
No. Well, I don't think so. But okay, under the Biden administration policy, federal agents are not supposed to do these immigration enforcements at disaster sites unless there are extreme circumstances. So whether that policy is still in place or was ignored is unclear. So this was unusual. But I
don't think anybody voted for that.
That is where we're at right now. Well, how about this one? The State Department of Licensing says it is cutting off ICE's access to Washington's driver database, but that decision only comes after the damage has already been done. Court records show immigration agents were running Washington license plates, pulling up registration info, and using it to arrest undocumented residents. And why is that an issue? That's not supposed to happen here because state law specifically bans sharing data for immigration enforcement. So one man on Camino Island was actually arrested after ICE traced his vehicle through that database, and his partner, who was pregnant, described the raid to King 5 News.
It was like duck season. And they were having fun, or they were enjoying what they're doing, coming after people like that. Like the chase of it.
Now, her partner had a gross misdemeanor from years back. He had served his sentence, and she says had changed his life.
All the hard work. We feel really defeated that he did do all of the work, and he was becoming a very, very different person. And now, like, all of that is just gone.
Okay, someone listening right now might say, well, he had a gross misdemeanor, so he should have expected it. He's in here in this country illegally. Another man in Kirkland with no criminal record was also detained after ICE ran his plates through DOL records. And here's the thing. King 5 reports that the state initially said none of this was happening. Licensing officials told their reporters there was no evidence of it happening. And it was only after federal court documents surfaced then the state admitted, yes, ICE had misused the system, and now they're finally cutting access off. But advocates say it's too late. The families have already been torn apart. Trust has been broken. And again, this is where we're at.
Yeah.
And my question is, are there any other agencies misusing this?
I'm quite sure. And shout out to, do I give a shout out to King 5 for this? King 5, fantastic reporting on this. This is why the media is so important. Imagine some of the things that continue to go on behind our back. You know, Ursula, before you get out of this segment, I want to ask you something.
Yeah.
We talk about all the news, and lately it's been, immigration and ICE, and we've been talking about this, and unfortunately we just talked about the tragedy there, and we'll be talking about King County giving up some money. Where in your life and struggles, where does someone's immigration status or green card status or citizenship status, where does that rank on your priorities of things that are
personally?
For you personally, for what's going
Nowhere
on in your
on the
life?
radar.
And I'd argue from the majority of people listening, if they had to rank where their priorities are at, like, hey, look, it's back to school. My kids are going off to college. I got kids leaving the house. I'm going through a divorce. I got child support. I'm trying to buy a house. I'm trying to pay my rent. I can keep going. I can assure you that, unfortunately, Ursula, I love you to death, but in your top stories every single day, we are involving stories around ICE and everything because they are impacting the communities where it's constant. But I'd argue that the United States of America, this ICE stuff is not, it feels like a distraction. People are struggling financially, and if we are talking about these things, Ursula.
Yeah. Well, we're talking about these things because of the way it is happening.
Yeah, you have to talk about it.
Yes, but you're right. And I think you only think that it's a huge deal if you think that someone in this country illegally is 100% going to commit some kind of heinous crime, or if you think that they are taking a job or draining your resources. That's how people are being told to view someone who is in this country undocumented.
You know what Gen Z wants to know? They want to know if there is mass deportation and they continue to deport folks, will it make houses cheaper for them? No. Ursula, what's going on with King County? And you mean to tell me
so
there's a payout?
Another settlement, and I want to hear what you all think about this one. Okay, because it was a big chunk of change.
Is this one? This sounds like it's ridiculous. Is it?
The damage that was done by these vicious dogs.
Okay. Oh, dogs.
I'm just curious why it took this lawsuit for King County to finally pay attention.
All right, next, Gee Ursula.
The John Curley Show.
In-N-Out Burger, is that the ones with the old-fashioned 1950s hat on and stuff like that?
Weekdays 3 to 7.
They definitely used to. I don't know.
I think they still have that.
Yeah,
they're
probably.
incredibly courteous service. I noticed that as well.
Yeah, they're
second only to Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A, those people are so kind. You could, while you're waiting in line, they baptize your child, spay and neuter people. Dogs, anyway, yeah.
Watch The John Curley Show live on YouTube.
Homeowners, federal tax credits on heat pumps end soon. Home Comfort Alliance can help you save up to 75% on new in-stock heat pumps with combined discounts, utility rebates, and expiring federal tax credits on systems installed by December 31st. These are new in-stock high-efficiency models that will make your home comfortable year-round. Federal tax credits expire December 31st, so don't wait. Visit HomeComfortAlliance.com. For all your heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical needs, it's Home Comfort Alliance, the comfort people.
It's about grit.
Leonard Williams drags him down.
Running through whatever gets in your way.
The handoff to Charbonnet. Stiff arms a man, turns, first down. Oh my goodness, what a blast!
Fighting for every yard.
The handoff to Walker. He breaks a tackle, comes back to the near side, stumbles across the 10, breaks the tackle. Touchdown, Seahawks!
And a drive that never ends. Celebrating 50 seasons of Seahawks football. Visit Seahawks.com/tickets today.
If you want that summer body you've always dreamed of, then this message is for you, ladies, and you men too. Get rid of extra stubborn fat and address areas of loose skin around the waistline, chin, and under the upper arms with ProSculpt, the new one-day instant permanent fat removal and skin tightening treatment. Maybe you've tried the lasers, fat freezing methods, even those new pills, but without the desired results. ProSculpt is different. It's minimally invasive, performed while fully awake, gentle, yet powerful. Designed to target the waistline, chin, neck, arms, and thighs, ProSculpt uses FDA-cleared plasma technology to deliver immediate, permanent fat-reducing and skin-tightening results, all in just one visit. If you want that summer body this summer, then you must act now. Go to ProSculpt.com today to schedule your free consultation. Get $250 off. For instant, permanent fat reduction and skin tightening, visit ProSculpt.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Real Success. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at OurRealSuccess.com.
Do you want to learn how to make money flipping houses and acquiring rental properties right here in Seattle without using your own money? You'll learn to flip houses and secure rental properties in your spare time to get on track towards real wealth building. We're offering a handful of motivated individuals the opportunity to attend our workshop right here in Seattle for free. That's right, we'll give you 2 free tickets when you text FREE to 64,000. Seattle is the perfect market to flip houses and build rental income. Don't miss this opportunity. Come to a complimentary live 2-hour workshop next week right here in Seattle and learn how to start making money flipping homes and building long-term wealth with rental properties. To get 2 free tickets, text FREE to 64,000. Text in the next 10 minutes, and registrants will also receive a free copy of our Funding for Deals guide. Text FREE to 64,000 for 2 complimentary tickets. Text FREE to 64,000.
Hey, Brock Heward here. Taking the First Mark Insurance Challenge could save your family a lot of money. It saved us thousands. First Mark works for you. Search in the carriers for lower rates and better coverage. If that sounds smart, go to firstmarkinsurance.com.
Jason Rance here with our local tax expert and advocate, Greg Nunn from None Better Tax Resolution. When it comes to the technology that the IRS is using, they're updating systems that haven't been updated in decades. And while that might sound great for them, it's usually bad for the taxpayer who owes.
It is, and their systems, unfortunately, they're just legacy systems. If you try to make an inquiry on some things, it's like you got to know how to use programming language to find it. But they are working on updating that system, and I hope that really they do, because they'll serve us better, the taxpayer better, and get things done quicker. The other thing they're doing is AI, just like every organization. So they're already using it to some extent to put in profile of certain things that they want to look for in a taxpayer and find those people and go after them or see what's going on, why they're not getting their money.
If you're having trouble with the IRS, call Greg Nunn, None Better Tax Resolution, 425-947-1967, or Google NUNN, None Better Tax Resolution.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch. 2 firefighters battling the Bear Gulch fire on the Olympic Peninsula have been detained by ICE. Witnesses tell the Seattle Times federal agents told members of 2 private contracting crews to line up, and then over the next 3 hours, they looked over IDs and took 2 firefighters away. The wildfire burning on nearly 9,000 acres has been a tough one to fight, Information Officer Molly Pittman telling me recently.
We do expect to see an increase in some of the fire behavior in some of the sections, some of the perimeter.
It's only 13% contained. Governor Bob Ferguson says he is concerned about the ICE arrests and is looking into it. U.S. Senator Patty Murray calling it immoral and dangerous. The Department of Homeland Security is moving detainees out of the controversial Alligator Alcatraz ICE detention facility in the Florida Everglades after a judge ruled environmental laws were violated there. Trump border czar Tom Homan.
I thought it was a great transition facility, but I do think ICE needs more brick and mortar facilities. We've got the money now to build infrastructure like we're building the wall and other things down there. We need permanent facilities.
A Catholic church in Seattle reacts to the deadly shooting during a Minnesota school mass yesterday. KIRO News Radio's Gwen Baumgardner reports.
Only hours after a gunman opened fire outside a Minneapolis mass, parishioners gathered at St. James Cathedral in Seattle.
We're not going to stop praying. We're not going to stop gathering in churches like this.
That's Father Michael, who led the midday mass, calling for not just prayers, but greater gun control. Gwen Baumgardner, KIRO News Radio.
In Minnesota, the search continues for a motive in the shooting that left 2 children dead and 17 injured, shot while praying. Police Chief Brian O'Hara.
This is a deranged individual who, like so many other mass shooters, had an obsession with previous mass shootings that was looking to cause as much trauma and carnage as possible for their own personal notoriety.
The 23-year-old shooter killed himself. Overseas, at least 17 people dead after an hours-long barrage of Russian drone and missile strikes in Ukraine's capital.
The sirens started yesterday evening and they went through until early this morning. Throughout the night, we could hear Ukrainian air defenses trying to intercept the drones and the missiles.
The BBC's Katie Watson reporting there. On Wall Street, the Dow is up 23 points, NASDAQ ahead 88. KIRO News Radio traffic. In Sumner, the crash has been cleared from northbound State Route 167 now. A crash has been cleared also on southbound 405 near Coal Creek Parkway. You are slow to Woodinville still a little bit, but travel times Bellevue to Renton are back down to 15 minutes. Pretty good. Everett to Seattle, 24 minutes. Federal Way to Seattle, 44. Renton to Bellevue, 28. And your lake bridges have nearly cleared out. Traffic brought to you by KIRO News Radio. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Showers tapering off with highs near 80. It's 64 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the Gee and Ursula Show. Thank you to all of you who have texted in. Our text line is open for you, 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO. Also, welcome to all of you on YouTube. Got Paul Holden, our producer today, checking out some of the comments because every single day we are told by some of our listeners that they want to hang out on YouTube, but it gets kind of toxic in there.
It's not toxic. One of the guys by the name of Chris Dad, he realized, hey, I don't get paid for my opinion, but gee, you do. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta Ursula, you gotta think about it. Like, hey, Dad, what'd you do today? Oh, son, all I did was I gave it to him on YouTube. I said, I'm gonna get you, and you said this, and then what else did you do? That's it. I waited for the next show, and I got back on YouTube, and I told him how it was. Did you get paid for that? No. But go ahead.
Is my sister in there? My sister Tina every once in a while likes to mix it up with folks.
I haven't seen her yet, but we got a lot of people chiming in on the news today.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
okay, well, we got a lot of news.
Okay.
So King County has now agreed to pay more than $21 million to a jogger who was nearly killed in an Auburn dog attack after years of neighbor complaints went unanswered. So this happened back in 2022. 38-year-old mother of two, Gyeonggi Mas, was out on a run when two dogs came from behind, dragged her down, and mauled her so badly that she lost most of her ear, broke both her arms, and tore muscles in her leg. She has had to have more than 20 surgeries since that horrible attack. And what makes this especially heartbreaking is that neighbors like Kirsten Purvis tell KIRO 7 TV they had called the county more than 75 times about that very same property. And they said squatters were living there with these aggressive dogs, but no one would come and shut it down. And even more stunning, the county had impounded those very same dogs a year earlier and then released them.
What is it going to have to take to wake up and get these people out of this house?
I mean, obviously hearing the frustration at that time. Well, as part of this settlement now, the property owner has agreed to sell the house, and the victim is hoping that the county will finally respond faster when neighbors raise red flags. But I've got to ask again, because we talked yesterday about how much waste and fraud, alleged fraud is happening within King County government. And now we've got the situation where neighbors were begging and begging and begging for the county to do something. Nothing happened until someone was nearly killed. And now the county is out of more than $22 million of taxpayer money.
So I think the thing that I think people, and I'll be people, I'm people, this is bad. This is horrific that it happened to this jogger. My heart goes out to her. It is bad that they talked about that there were signs that people were saying like, hey, take care of this house. This is what's going on. But I think people need to see more. And what I mean by more is okay, Ursula, you live here, King County, paying out all the time. You need to see more like, okay, whose fault is this? Who did not make the decision? Who got the email and saw, or who was part of that meeting when they were discussing getting rid of this location?
Yeah, like, you mean heads roll? Like who is going to be held accountable for ignoring repeated, what did I say? More than 70 times they called. How many times does it take? What does it take to get someone to shut something like that down?
And I'm sure there's emails on it. I want to see the emails and all of those. Well, obviously, the emails were something because $21 million was paid. And it seems like when that gets paid, you close the case and nobody sees anything else. I just think that we can't just continue to get used to these just payouts.
Yeah, exactly.
Without anything.
Well, and the other question is, and this is where I think all of us as taxpayers, our only recourse is to say, if you keep asking us for money, but we keep seeing these examples of where you don't do a good job managing our money, then you get no more money until you can show that you are more responsible, that you are more accountable. And I mean, ultimately, it's the owner of the dog or these dogs that should be responsible. But that's not where the deep pockets are. And again, if You know what I'm saying? So they're going to go with the deepest pockets. And I don't blame this. I mean, this woman went through.
I never blamed her at all.
Something horrific.
Absolutely.
But whether it's, do something about the homeless encampments, for example. I'm just going to use this as an example. Do something about the homeless encampments. Why does it take a murder before, okay, now we're going to do something? I mean, that happened with the homeless encampment right across from my mother's house when my mom was living here in Seattle. Neighbors complained about it, and it was only until there was a murder, then, let's go do something about it now.
No, Ursula, you've been doing this a long time. Is it, just as a feeling, I don't have any facts, but does it feel like that there's more payouts today than ever? It feels that way. I'm not saying that, you know better than me.
There is some evidence, and I don't want to speak out of turn unless I have the facts, but I do know that there was a recent story in the Seattle Times about how many payouts that it has actually impacted the insurance amount that the state is paying. I'll have to look it up, and maybe, Paul, you can help me. But, essentially, it's covered by state insurance, county insurance, city insurance. And it was, I believe, a record amount. And so, it's like these governments are just saying, instead of fighting it, we're just going to pay it out because we've got this money. Hello?
Yeah.
How about being proactive?
That would be great. All right, Ursula. Look, man, it's 9 o'clock. You've been really hitting us with some rough news. So I'll tell you what, 9:47 is time for Would You Rather. That's right. It's the game that everybody likes to play. Well, it's the game that I like to play, and I just put this on you. So we're going to be doing that next. Gee Ursula.
The John Curley Show.
I told my wife once that you can tell the temperature outside.
Weekdays 3 to 7.
You count the number of chirps that a cricket makes in 15 seconds, and you multiply that by 4, and that tells you the outside temperature. All right, you know what?
What kind of formulas?
I'm going to look it up. And you know what? You're going to be eating your words in there, Mr. Laffy, Laffy.
Okay. The John Curley Show. Weekdays 3 to 7. Watch The John Curley Show live on YouTube.
What's up, everybody? It's G. Scott here. College students, listen up. Whether you're at a university, junior college, or tech school, Safeway's got your back with 5% off just for being a student. All you got to do is verify your student ID in the app. Boom. Instant savings and exclusive deals. And parents, I see you too. Make life easier with online shopping and delivery. If it's your first time using delivery, guess what? You get $30 off your first order. Now, here's the real game changer. FreshPass. Subscribe and enjoy unlimited free delivery and special offers. And if you use EBT, you get FreshPass for 50% off, plus big savings on fresh produce. That's right. Healthy food, delivered, and affordable. It's not a lot of info, I know, but savings, significant and worth the time. So if you have or know a college student, make sure they visit Safeway.com/for-you. That's FOR and the letter U. Again, Safeway.com/for-you.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-486-9600. That's 800-486-9600.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Is your concrete sinking? Whether it's your driveway, sidewalk, or patio, those uneven surfaces are not just ugly, they're dangerous. That's where Groundworks comes in. They use state-of-the-art concrete lifting solutions to prevent tripping hazards, and they're the best at what they do. Schedule your free inspection at groundworks.com/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job. It's a good one.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm. A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau, their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-972-0588. 800-972-0588. 800-972-0588.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
At Care Partners Senior Living, we believe in providing quality care at an affordable price. Instead of spending on luxury and expensive art, we invest in our people and accommodations with a focus on compassionate overall health. Our communities offer independent, assisted living and memory care designed to preserve dignity, independence, in your estate. Affordable, personal, trusted. That's our promise. Please give us a call. We have beautiful Care Partners communities throughout Washington and Arizona. Visit carepartnersliving.com.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm. A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau, their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-783-8055. That's 800-783-8055. 800-783-8055.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody. Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have Leaf Filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
Okay, Nick, a little funky there. All right, it is now time for the segment Sweeping the World. And by the way, I didn't pull up News Boss, so therefore I don't have the sounder for Would You Rather.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's okay.
All right.
It's okay.
Okay, here we go. We got to break it up a little bit. Our good friend Lori in Enumclaw says, please, more funny segments, more positive news. Here we go.
I apologize for the heavy news today.
Lori, this is for you. Would you rather end hunger or never have another personal problem?
I would rather end hunger.
Yeah, that was kind of easy.
That was really
Gotta
easy.
end hunger. Challenge, that's how we get stronger, right? That we go through adversity, learn a couple of things about ourselves.
Yes.
Yeah.
And how boring would it be in life to not have a challenge or an issue?
And by the way, I'd argue that your relationship with your significant other can be better after a disagreement going forward. Nick, you got anything on this, brother?
I'm with the latter. I'm with you guys. Yeah.
Okay.
And world hunger.
All right, here we go. Would you rather spend a week alone, lost in the wilderness, or a night in a real haunted house?
Give me a night in a real haunted house.
Same. Same.
Would you rather spend a week alone? That was sounding really good until you said in the wilderness.
In the wilderness? No. Paul?
Is it actually, you say actually haunted. What does that mean? Is it like, you hear it on TV, or are we actually talking about ghosts? Things are flying through the air.
Haunted houses.
I mean, let's be real now. Some of these haunted houses can be scary.
Mm-hmm.
It's one night.
But yeah, it's one night. I think it's,
one night.
You just stay up and you just yell at the ghosts the whole time. I think that's what I do. But I'd like to see you out in the wilderness, though, G, how you would handle a week out there.
Wait a minute. What do y'all think? How do you guys think G would do a week in the wilderness?
I think he'd
designer style.
Okay, I got one more, and then
I
Ursula.
have a couple. Yeah,
I got one more, and Ursula told me she's got to bring some to the party. Yep. Would you rather have to read aloud every word that you read, or sing everything that you say out loud?
Oh, read aloud. Even as much as I like singing.
Yeah.
No, that would get irritating, even to me.
Yeah, I'm reading it aloud there. No one wants to hear me. You don't want to hear me singing that much, so I mostly sing to annoy people.
Okay.
Okay, how about this?
What do you got, Ursula?
Would you rather have universal respect or unlimited power?
Ooh.
Text us 888-973-5476 888-973 KIRO.
Universal respect or
unlimited
power. Hey guys, I'm going to take unlimited power.
You're going power tripping?
I'm going to go power tripping.
Okay, why? Because I'm saying universal respect.
Because I'm transitioning to a point in life where I really don't give a damn what you think about me. And I think I spent a lot of times trying to, be a certain way, do this. And I know
pleaser.
And I know I'm not the only one. If you're listening right now, I think you know this. And some of you all that are older probably know better than most. You do all this and still, like sometimes even the people that you are fighting for won't respect you. So yeah, give me the power.
Yeah, definitely for me, universal respect.
Man, I want to say respect. I think that I do, but power, because as we know, with great power comes great responsibility. So if you are someone with responsible, and if you're someone that, it's just kind of my question to a lot of people that have positions of power, you can use your power for good. You can use your influence. You can use your resources and everything for good. Just
and you
because
can also
you're powerful.
Use it for evil.
Exactly.
Yes.
It's kind of, but it's that ultimate. I think a lot about superheroes. Obviously,
And what happens when you have a lot of power? A lot of people spend a lot of time trying to take you down.
Because if you're
universal respect, though,
everyone kind of you always people say I respect the way you respect how you do business, how you handle things.
Hey guys,
respect matters.
Give me the power, because right now you have that CEO that walks in on that one employee. The CEO has 5 or 6 houses. The employee is renting a room from someone, but the CEO says, "I got great respect for you, G. I just love you. You're like a family to me."
Okay.
How about that? How's that respect? How's that respect?
Okay, here's a more apropos one, I guess, for this summer. Would you rather give up air conditioning or heating, let's say, for the rest of your life, or give up the internet for the rest of your life?
Oh, call it that. Ursula, that was easy.
You're not giving up the internet.
I'm not giving up the internet. You kidding me?
In a few years, if I'm no longer working, I'd be giving up the internet.
Are you ready to get rid of the internet?
Keep me cool and keep me warm.
Paul?
Nah, the internet I'm too connected on. I've lived without AC and without heat both before, so I think that's a little bit more doable. Kind of hard to do my job without the internet.
I forgot to add. Hey Nick, I want to go back to Ursula's first one about universal respect or unlimited power.
I would just take the respect, because I feel like with that you're adopting the power of the people when everybody is respecting you and you get brought up by everyone around you. When you have unlimited power, you can't control what other people feel, and if they do say they like you and enjoy their company, it might be disingenuous. So power doesn't always come with genuity.
Best answer yet.
That's a good answer, Nick.
Thank you. Okay, I love it. Well, text us. What do you think? 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO.
Nick, your answer was so powerful. Let me call Lillian right now.
People might be fake around you if you got the power.
Hey, Lillian, that PSC bill, where it says total, I want you to write respect. and that'll pay.
Even if you wrote power, that ain't going to pay it either. So, come on.
Good point. That was good. All right, Ursula. We got the 10 o'clock hour.
Yes.
That was a long 9 o'clock hour.
Yeah, because it was heavy news. Okay, we're going to try to give you some more news, but we're going to try to lighten it up a little bit more. We'll find other ways.
Okay, stick around. Gee and Ursula.
The Jake and Spike Show.
If you are watching on YouTube, you're going to see a giant snake here in just a minute.
Weekdays, noon to 3.
Monroe Reptile Zoo in with us right now. Isaac Peterson joins us.
This is linguini tates and Burmese python, albino Burmese python.
Albino Burmese python.
Yeah.
Oh, Spike is going to wear him. There we go.
I made the really bad mistake of eating a live mouse before the segment, and maybe he smells it on my breath.
Most people don't get comfortable with Spike that quickly.
I know. It takes most of my co-hosts at least a year.
Watch the Jake and Spike Show live on YouTube or the KIRO Newsradio App. KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle.
Your new beginning starts now. D.R. Horton has new construction homes available throughout the greater Seattle area. With spacious floor plans, flexible living spaces, and home technology packages, you can enjoy more cozy moments and sweet memories in your beautiful new home. With new home communities opening throughout the Seattle area, D.R. Horton has the ideal home for you. Visit drhorton.com to learn more. D.R. Horton, America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder.
An illegal alien from Guatemala charged with raping a child in Massachusetts. An MS-13 gang member from El Salvador accused of murdering a Texas man. A Venezuelan charged with filming and selling child pornography in Michigan. These are just some of the heinous migrant criminals caught because of President Donald J. Trump's leadership. I'm Kristi Noem, the United States Secretary of Homeland Security. Under President Trump, attempted illegal border crossings are at the lowest levels ever recorded, and over 100,000 illegal aliens have been arrested. If you are here illegally, you're next. You will be fined nearly $1,000 a day, imprisoned, and deported. You will never return. But if you register using our CBP Home app and leave now, you could be allowed to return legally. Do what's right. Leave now. Under President Trump, America's laws, border, and families will be protected.
Sponsored by the United States Department of Homeland Security.
Every 2 minutes, an American is sexually assaulted. Be the someone who gives their time. Be the someone who lends an ear. Be the someone who takes a step. This is Christina Ricci with RAIN, asking you to join the fight against sexual violence and volunteer in your community. Log on to RAIN.org. That's RAINN.org to learn how you can be the someone.
This message brought to you by the Rape, Abuse, and Incest National Network and this station.
Are you happy with how you're feeling these days? Are you slowing down physically or mentally? Ever wonder what your life will be like 10 to 15 years from now? Most of us don't really know how we're aging or if we can even do anything about it. But here's the truth. Knowledge is power, and that's exactly where we start at Longevity Medical Clinic. We run advanced diagnostics to find out what's really going on inside your body, and then we create a personalized hormone and health optimization plan designed specifically to help you live better starting now. Our patients are often amazed by what they discover in their blood work, and even more amazed at how quickly they start to feel like themselves again. This isn't guesswork, it's science, it's personal, and it works. Take the first step today. Call 425-633-1820 or visit LongevityMedicalClinic.com to schedule your free consultation. Longevity Medical Clinic. Feel better today and every day after that.
Let me tell you about this new pretzel cheddar club. Hey, I'm Carlos.
And I'm Ebony. And a little thing we love about the Chick-fil-A Pretzel Cheddar Club
is the tangy Dijon with the pretzel bun. It takes it to a whole nother level.
It goes perfectly with the chicken and the cheddar cheese and the bacon.
Man, you know how much you love bacon. And I love the different varieties. Grilled, spicy, original. It gets you nice and excited for fall.
Order the Pretzel Cheddar Club with cherry berry and Sprite for a limited time on the Chick-fil-A app. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
There's nothing like when you get that part from eBay and
It just fits. Yeah, the first time. So you can do less of this and get right back to more of this. At eBay, you'll find all the parts you need, guaranteed to fit, at prices you'll love. Sounds good, doesn't it? eBay, things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Cars for Kids, the easy way to donate your car. Donate today and your car can be picked up tomorrow. Go to carsforkids.com or 1-877-CARS4KIDS.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Steve Kathan. Sadness and frustration a day after the deadly mass shooting in Minneapolis.
The sad thing is we can't sit here and tell them that help is on the way because we're not going to do a damn thing about it.
Cheryl Reeve coaches the WNBA's Minnesota Lynx. City Police Chief Brian O'Hara.
It's been difficult the last 24 hours for a number of our officers, not just the first officers who arrived on scene and ran into the church and just saw unspeakable tragedy, but really all of the officers who responded in the aftermath.
2 children died, 17 people wounded in the attack at the Catholic Church School. CBS's Scott McFarland.
The police now shifting their investigation into the writings from what seems like the shooter's journal. That includes sketches of a church and rows of pews. Police say the shooter appears to have timed a YouTube video to post yesterday. It's under review by the FBI.
This morning, Federal Reserve Governor Lisa Cook filed a lawsuit to challenge President Trump's move to fire her. The CDC director, Susan Manaraz, was fired 1 month into her tenure. And as we hear from CBS's Natalie Brand, she's vowing to fight.
Attorneys for Manaraz argue she was targeted after she refused to rubber stamp unscientific, reckless directives and fire dedicated public health experts.
This is a complete meltdown at the CDC right now.
The shakeup comes as the FDA this week moved to limit who's eligible for the COVID vaccine.
You can have different opinions about policy, but when it comes to the science, that's a very different thing.
And less than 3 weeks ago, a gunman targeted CDC headquarters in Atlanta.
Overseas, 18 people were killed in a wave of Russian drone and missile attacks in Ukraine's capital. CBS's Chris Livesay.
When you look at the attacks of today, specifically on the European Union delegation offices, I mean, remember that Europe is where this war is happening, and the European Union is afraid that after Ukraine, much of Europe is next. So Ukraine sees this as a slap in the face and also as a sign of what could come if Ukraine falls in this war against Russia.
Relatives of Emmett Till gathering today, 70 years after the black teenager was kidnapped, shot, and lynched, a crime that galvanized civil rights activists. Priscilla Williams Till is a cousin.
Mamie allowed the casket of Emmett Till to be left open for the purpose for the world to see what hate had done to her son. Hate, a choice that people make.
Wall Street, right now the Dow is down 8 points. The S&P and NASDAQ are trading higher. This is CBS News.
Progressive Insurance, with insurance for cars, home, boat, motorcycles, RVs, and commercial vehicles at 1-800-PROGRESSIVE and Progressive.com.
A kid who brought a gun to school will not be welcomed back to class this fall. That story coming up. But first, KIRO News Radio traffic. In Bellevue, a disabled vehicle was just moved from I-405 southbound to 112th. No major backup there. WashDOT says all lanes of I-90 over the Vantage Bridge at the Columbia will be open this Labor Day weekend. Travel times are looking pretty good. Everett to Seattle, 22 minutes. Federal Way to Seattle, 35. Renton to Bellevue, 27. Edger Lake bridges are clear. Traffic brought to you by D.R. Horton. The D.R. Horton National Red Tag Sales event's been extended through July 27th. Visit D.R. Horton Community today, drhorton.com.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch. The Arlington School District says a student who brought a loaded gun to school last year will not be returning to classes this fall. Parents had taken up a petition to keep the boy out of the building. The district has met with the family. All agreed he will attend classes online instead. Seattle Public School families sounded off at a school school board hearing about a proposal to bring police officers back to Garfield High after a fatal shooting there last year.
We need individuals on campus to assist students in cases of emergency.
We need to direct our efforts towards programs and staffs that help students, not towards armed police in and around students.
KIRO 7 TV says or reports the proposal is to use school engagement officers who would emphasize conversations and trust with students. If an arrest was needed, a separate police unit would be brought in to handle that. Another meeting on this is planned for September 9th. We're learning that the head of the Minnesota Catholic school at the center of a mass school shooting yesterday was also the principal at St. Therese Catholic School right here in Seattle for 8 years. KIRO 7 TV's Deborah Horn spoke to those who knew Matthew DeBoer.
Nicole St. Hilaire has worked here for more than 20 years.
He came to St. Therese when my children were young, and he was an incredible leader at that time.
He's very community focused. Lucelia Thompson was in second grade when DeBoer arrived.
You know, we're a pretty diverse school, so he did a lot to celebrate everyone's cultures and stuff and make sure people felt at home here.
DeBoer and his wife moved to Minneapolis in 2022. Kane County has agreed to pay $21.5 million to a woman who was attacked by dogs in unincorporated Auburn in 2022.
Her injuries were absolutely horrific.
Attorney Gemma Zanowski tells me the woman suffered broken bones, lacerations, and other wounds. Neighbors told KIRO 7 TV they had repeatedly complained about the vicious dogs being kept by squatters at a nearby home. As part of the settlement, the property owner will sell that house. Washington has pulled the plug for now on a $292 million tech upgrade for how the state handles workers' comp injury claims. The Seattle Times reports the project has burned through more than $30 million over 10 years with little to show for it. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Showers tapering off today with highs near 80. It is 68 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO Newsradio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Hey, good morning, everybody. It is the Gee and Ursula Show. I think it's August 28th. Happy Thursday. It should be Friday, Ursula. Look, this is one of those.
You were
it should
off
be Friday.
one day this week. So why should it be? It actually should be Wednesday for you.
It should be the day that you think it was. So today, for some reason, I was thinking it was Friday.
Oh, okay. Well, it is Friday Eve, which is almost as exciting.
Plus, I'm off my game. We got company.
We do.
I'm not used to having this guy over.
Hey, I got a question for all of you.
What's that?
Would you attend your own funeral? And if you could plan your own funeral, what would it be like? Would it be a celebration? It would be somber? What would you want it to be? I know some people would get really uncomfortable even talking about the idea that they may die one day.
Would you dress up?
They may die.
Would you dress up or dress down?
I want to look as fabulous as possible.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't think that's going to be an option.
I'm actually looking forward to this topic because about 20 years ago, I actually did attend a living funeral. Yeah.
Okay, so we'll talk about that coming up at 10:30. As always, we invite you to join us on our text line, 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO. If you missed any part of our first hour, just a reminder that you can always catch us on our podcast, which is available anywhere that you listen to podcasts around a half hour after the show. But right now,
What's new at 10?
and we love it when we can invite Charlie Harger from Seattle's Morning News onto the show. We just don't do it nearly enough. But Charlie, you had a great commentary.
Here I am.
Yes, hi.
Good morning.
Yes, we loved what you had to say about immigration, which seems to be in the news quite a bit. And so we wanted to have you share it with our audience.
Yeah, you know, when I covered this morning, this is actually a request from Gee. Let's be really transparent about this. Gee asked me yesterday, hey, I've been listening to your commentaries every morning at 7:35. Why don't you talk about immigration? And this is something I haven't brought up.
Mm-hmm.
And it is so difficult. This is a complicated story because on one hand, we have an administration that is going out and it seems almost gleeful in the way they are rounding up people. And On the other hand, I think America has every right to enforce its borders, to deport people they see fit to deport, particularly criminals, people who have been doing bad things here. But we're also Americans. And I think that what really sets us apart, what has always set us apart, is we say we have a rule of law, that we have due process. And I'm not really sure that I'm seeing that as much as it should be right now. And so the commentary this morning is basically saying, look, if you were in Saudi Arabia, if you were in China right now and you were there illegally, there would be no, hey, maybe we should have some thought about this. Instead, you're going to get whisked away.
Sure.
You may be put in a prison and disappeared. And so we're America. We're better than that is basically the thrust of the commentary today.
Well, and I would love for you to expand on that, because every time we talk about this, we do get people who say, this is what we voted for. They broke the law.
Yes.
They say they broke the law by coming into this country illegally. That's the pushback that we get. And the other pushback is always, and any other country would not be
That's right.
allowing this.
And they're right. Most other countries wouldn't be, but that's what sets us apart. We're that shining city on the hill. Ronald Reagan, Republican president, conservative president, he called America the shining city on the hill. Well, right now the world is looking at that hill, and they're wondering, do we really live up to that?
In doing your commentary, and one thing I know that you do a fantastic job with, I watch you prepare for it. You put a lot of time into it. In your, getting ready for this topic and this commentary, what do you make of the bipartisan agreement that was potentially going to happen, and then Donald Trump told them before he got elected not for it to go through? What are your thoughts on that one?
I think my big takeaway is that this is a complicated issue. This is something that is nuanced, and I think we have all known people who may or may not have been here legally. Whether we were aware of that or not, we run into them every day. There are families who have come here who have, aside from the transgression of crossing our border illegally, which is a crime, they have otherwise been the people who farm our food. These are the people who build our homes, who clean our houses. They are members of the PTA. They're coaches. So that's what I think a lot of people think about when they're like, okay, we're going way too far. On the other hand, you have the president, and the president is convinced that many people who are here illegally are somehow violent criminals. And there are violent criminals who are here illegally.
But
they
we've
need
seen,
help.
we've seen the statistics, though.
Okay, well, since I like to make it relatable, I know you guys do news. You don't really go too much opinion. Your experience with undocumented immigrant has been?
Those who I have seen as undocumented immigrants, I would say in my neighborhood, we have a lot of landscapers who are the hardest working people who very much care about and love their children, who are not committing crimes. That is my main experience with undocumented immigrants. But we also cover the stories all the time of people who are here, and we had Trooper Gadd who died, for example. That was an awful, awful situation. And that guy should have never been here. But what happens is that's a minority. That's a fraction of what's happening. And it gets extrapolated to make it seem like it's everybody here is somehow a monstrous criminal. They're not.
You also, in your commentary, looked into surveys and how Americans are feeling. So to share some of that.
Yeah, so Gallup did a survey last month, and it shows that 79% of Americans support legal immigration. So that's what we want to promote. That's what we want people to do. What is interesting, though, is on illegal immigration, Republicans, 77% of them want to deport people here illegally, not really mattering whether they have committed any other crimes or not. Democrats are 14%. There is a wide gulf of opinions on this, Democrats versus Republicans. And considering this nation is split 50-50, but one interesting thing is those who believe there should be some sort of path to citizenship for those who are here illegally. 78% say if you have committed no other crime, there should be at least some avenue for you to be able to stay here. What that solution is, not exactly clear, but the broad majority of people are not saying let's simply give nobody a choice once they're here if they've done nothing else wrong.
And Charlie, one of the best lines, I think, in your commentary is that you said, the measure of America is not whether we enforce our borders, it's how we do it, and we can uphold our laws without losing our soul.
I think this is what you guys talk about all
Yes,
the time, right?
exactly.
The idea of even if we disagree with you, even if you have done something that we're opposed to, we're going to treat you like human beings. And that is we have not lived up to that under the American experience, but that is our goal, our ambition, right? That we want to. That's our makeup. We want to do that, and we have an opportunity to do that. We can treat people kindly. Kindness is not weakness.
1,000% agree. Charlie Harker, you can hear him on Seattle's Morning News. Thank you so much.
Yeah, anytime.
I've been loving your commentaries. Very
Great.
thoughtful.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Charlie, thank you. And I'm going to continue to talk because I don't want you to, I like for you to stay, in your lane and everything. Thank you for coming on. I'm going to continue to talk about this.
I didn't get a Charlie, though.
Not on this one right here. Thank you. Appreciate you, Charlie.
Take care, guys.
Right. Ursula, before we move on, I want to be very crystal clear about this. I work here at KIRO, and I work here. Watch where I'm going with this. I work here at KIRO, and if someone were to ask me, what has my experience been like with the white people that work here at KIRO, I would say, fantastic. I would not say, oh, well, Nick and then Paul and then these guys, they are great people. But let me talk about the mass shootings that is happening in the United States. I wouldn't do that. Mm-hmm. I don't understand why we can't have an honest discussion about undocumented immigrants and why we slide all the way to crime right away. Hey, I work with a black person at work. Great guy. But I tell you, I was in L.A. and I saw a bunch of Crips and Bloods down there. Like, why do we automatically demonize the undocumented immigrants and we do it unconsciously? Mm-hmm. And so I'm very sensitive to this topic. Let me say it again. If someone were to ask me how white people treat me at work here at KIRO, and I would say, well, the front desk guy, Isaiah, he's a cool guy, and Paul and Nick, they're cool. But hey, we need to talk about the mass shootings that's happening. I mean, do we want mass shootings happening? No, we don't want mass shootings. Nobody wants crime, right? I've never met someone in my life that says, hey, just walking down the street here, I would really love some crime to hit me right in the head.
Yeah. And I think you're pointing to the fact that we have been conditioned to, unfortunately, or I should say certain people have been conditioned to, unfortunately, group segments of the population in a certain way and cannot just speak and say, I mean, the statistics don't bear out that most people here who are undocumented are committing crimes. It just doesn't fall that way.
But it has been the recipe in this country,
Yes.
right? Ursula?
Yes.
It's not just today is undocumented immigrants. Yesterday it was MS-13. The day before, like in America.
Today it's also trans community.
The trans community. We are constantly pointing and shaping a narrative of a boogeyman in this country. And everybody has been a boogeyman in this country except for one group of people. And the group of people that should never have been the boogeyman should have been indigenous people. But we can't talk about that history because people want us to move on. Mm-hmm. They want us to move on and not talk about that history. Why? Because it is a nasty, ugly truth.
Yes.
So when we're talking about people being in this country illegally and we're talking about doing things the right way, let's not forget there was a bipartisan agreement that was in place that did not happen, and nobody wants to discuss that.
It didn't happen. We discussed it on this show, and if you really wanted to work on something, it just doesn't get the kind of headlines. And unfortunately, that deal was nixed because the then campaigning president, Trump, basically threatened folks not to pass it. I mean, that's essentially what we're talking about, right? I mean, so yeah, there was something that would have actually made a dramatic difference. So you're correct on that. Do you want to talk about this Fresh Bucks program? Because we have just a couple more minutes left. Okay, let's talk about this. Because Seattle's Fresh Bucks program is one that gives low-income families $40 a month to buy fruits and vegetables. And according to the University of Washington study, it is actually showing real results. The study found that households in that program were 31% more likely to be food secure than those stuck on the wait list. And families also ate their daily servings of fruits and veggies a lot more often, nearly 40% more being on this program. In case you've never heard of it, Fresh Bucks started small back in 2012, but today it helps about 12,000 households stretch their grocery dollars, and it is paid for by Seattle's soda tax, the controversial tax. Remember that one? That generated over $21 million last year, and a quarter of that went to this Fresh Bucks program. The need, though, is outpacing the funding. Nearly 4,000 families are on the wait list right now, and some recipients say that $40 in today's dollars just doesn't go as far as it used to with today's produce prices. So is this something that should be expanded? Is this something you even knew about?
Yes, I did know about it, and yes, it should be expanded. But here's something I didn't know about, Ursula. I did not know the difference between universal basic income and guaranteed basic income. I just found that out today. And the reason why I'm bringing that up and the reason why I like that, because the universal part is for everyone and the guaranteed has certain requirements like income, cost of living, and all those things. And so in this case, and what you're talking about right now, this one has barriers for the guarantee part. Like, not everybody can come and get this.
Sure.
Love this. Love this. And you're talking about that in those numbers, 37%, right? Ate more than those that were on the wait listed, right? When it comes to fresh fruits and veggies and things like that.
Because I know that when we had the Seattle City Councilwoman on and she was talking about the next tax that she approves of would have to have some kind of UBI baked into it. And I said, people are going to be against that because they're going to say that money's just going to go to waste or that's going to go to junk or whatever it is. And she talked about using vouchers. Yeah. Well, in this particular case, what I find interesting is that this is they're getting $40 a month. And not only are they actually using it for the fruits and vegetables, but it is actually, they're more likely to be food secure. I mean, just $40 a month took them from being wondering about whether they were going to have enough food on their plate to not only not having to worry about that, but also that they were eating more healthy.
Boom. Love that. And I'd ask you, Ursula, you wouldn't be someone fair to ask, but I would ask like someone else outside of you, what would an extra $250 a month do for your family? You know what I'm saying? Like the $250 a month, that difference can be the difference in little Johnny having an after school thing or little Sarah getting to be a part of this or being able to do things on the weekends or be able to at least once a month do a gathering where you go here and go on the ferry and like what $250, an extra $250 a month, can really take and change the trajectory of a family. Help with mental health. You want to know why your mental health is better? Because you're out and about and you're not as stressed.
It's true. That's true.
All right. Ursula, we got scenarios at I have scenarios at 10:47. But up next, living funerals. And by the way, as soon as you asked about this, like, would you attend or would you want a living funeral? I think this was a cringe topic because I could tell the way the text line rolled through.
Okay, I'm going to try to generate some more text messages.
Okay.
888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO. Would you attend your own funeral? And what would you want to happen?
Yeah. We'll do that next. Gee Ursula.
This hour is brought to you by Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington.
The John Curley Show.
In-N-Out Burger, is that the ones with the old-fashioned 1950s hat on and stuff like that?
Weekdays 3 to 7.
They definitely used to. I don't know.
I think they still have that.
Yeah,
they're
probably.
incredibly courteous service. I noticed that as well.
Yeah, they're
second only to Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A, those people are so kind. You could, while you're waiting in line, they baptize your child, spay and neuter people, dogs anyway. Yeah.
Watch the John Curley Show live on YouTube.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. It's the Sleep Number biggest sale of the year. All beds on sale up to 50% off the limited edition smart bed. Plus free premium delivery with any smart bed and adjustable base. Ends Labor Day. All Sleep Number smart beds offer temperature solutions for your best sleep. Check it out at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com today.
Some things can steal your sunshine. Ugh, I just got my hair done.
Sorry, the cooler's broken. Anyone see my flip-flops? Anyone?
But COVID-19 can steal a lot more.
I just took a COVID test. Ugh.
Prescription medications for COVID exist. If you test positive this summer, ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com/COVID-19 to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed cracks in your drywall, chimney, or exterior walls? I hope not, because if you have, they could be indications that you've got a much bigger problem with your foundation. That's where Groundworks comes in. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to stabilize your foundation. Schedule your free inspection at groundworks.com/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job. It's a good one.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
You're in your car every day. But when's the last time your car had a checkup? At Subaru of Puyallup, we make it easy with stress-free service. Open 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. 6 days a week. Swing by before work, after work, or whenever it fits your schedule. No hassle, no pressure. Just expert care on your schedule. Your car deserves it, and so do you. Schedule your appointment today at SubaruofPuyallup.com. Subaru of Puyallup, your stress-free dealership.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Well, I'm here with my good buddy, Dr. Dan Nelson from Eastside Pain and Regenerative Medicine. And you've heard from Dr. Dan's patients over the years how a simple stem cell procedure has successfully conquered their pain. Well, folks, now it's my turn. After years of dealing with knee pain from all the football abuse, I can say my knee pain now is almost 100% gone. How'd you do it, Dr. Dan?
Well, Brock, personally, I'm very happy that you did so well. And your story is like so many of our other patients who come in, former athletes and non-athletes as well, who have come in with chronic knee pain, and they are looking for alternatives besides knee replacement surgery. And we're happy to provide this service. It's been truly a game changer for so many folks. It's just been a pleasure to be part of this.
Consider Dr. Nelson, the only doctor with over 30 years of experience in pain medicine techniques, including stem cell therapy. I was in and out with a couple of follow-ups. It's a non-surgical solution to pain using your own stem cells. Consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Daniel Nelson, MD at 425-823-4000 or visit DanielNelsonMD.com. That's DanielNelsonMD.com.
Goodbye, baseball. Home runs in 3 consecutive games. Cal Raleigh, the big dumper.
The Mariners' postseason push is on, and there's a whole new way to be part of the action. Introducing the Homestretch Flex Plan, a $500 membership that gives you the freedom to choose your games and seats for the rest of the season, all while saving 5% on tickets and no fees.
Strike 3 call. Triple digits to end it and complete the sweep.
You can use your credit however you want. Go big with club seats for a couple high-stakes showdowns, or stretch it out until the final series against the Dodgers. And the best part? Homestretch Flex members get priority access to our postseason pre-sale. That means you're first in line when October comes calling. The team is locked in.
J.P. Crawford! Game winner, walk-off bench in the 9th inning.
And now it's time to bring the energy down the stretch. Come on board today at mariners.com/homestretch. Mariners baseball. Try dance up.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch. Washington U.S. Senator Patty Murray is calling it immoral and dangerous. Customs and Border Patrol agents detained 2 firefighters helping to battle the nearly 9,000-acre Bear Gulch wildfire on the Olympic Peninsula. Witnesses tell the Seattle Times federal agents told members of 2 private contracting crews to line up, and then over the next 3 hours, they looked at IDs and took 2 firefighters away. Governor Bob Ferguson says he is concerned and is gathering more information. Governor Ferguson has issued an emergency proclamation now to speed up repairs on the White River Bridge. The nearby town of Wilkeson already lost a key bridge earlier this year. Councilmember Jamie Pelosi tells Seattle Red's Jason Rance.
Customer traffic's just been dried up, and the economic survival of our towns is at risk.
A semi-truck driver damaged the bridge last week, closing the only direct route between Buckley and Enumclaw. A Seattle priest is calling for more action against gun violence following the deadly shooting during a Minnesota school mass. Father Michael led a service at St. James Cathedral, praying for the victims and for gun reform.
This produces a great amount of anger in me because we've been here before. We know what needs to happen, but we won't do it. So yes, anger, and then deep sadness and grief for these people.
CBS's Nydia Cavazos has more from the scene of yesterday's deadly shooting.
Mourners set up tributes this morning to the young victims of Wednesday's deadly shooting at Annunciation Catholic Church in Minneapolis.
Where's the shooter?
Terrifying footage provided to CBS News by a parent shows panicked children running out of the chapel moments after a shooter opened fire during morning mass. 2 children, just 8 and 10 years old, were killed.
Another 18 people, most of them children, were injured. Police say the 23-year-old suspect died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. U.S. economic growth was stronger than previously thought in the second quarter. The latest from Jason Brooks.
The Commerce Department revised second quarter GDP to 3.3% growth from the previous estimate of 3%. Thanks in part to stronger consumer spending.
On Wall Street, the Dow was up 15 points, NASDAQ ahead 113. KIRO News Radio traffic in the Tacoma area. 2 lanes are blocked on State Route 7 near 8th Avenue East. You have some congestion in that area. In Des Moines, a crash is partially blocking a lane on I-5 southbound at State Route 516. Not seeing a significant backup there just yet. On State Route 18, you are slow from the Tiger Mountain Summit up to I-90, and you are dragging on I-5 southbound along JBLM. Travel times: Everett to Seattle 22 minutes, Federal Way to Seattle 35, Renton to Bellevue 27, and your lake bridges are clear. Traffic brought to you by KIRO News Radio. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Showers tapering off with highs near 80. It's 68 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show. Happy Thursday to all of you. Gosh, this is a topic that makes a lot of people uncomfortable, but we are getting some of your text messages. And the question we pose is, would you attend your own funeral? And the reason we're bringing this up because more than a quarter of people surveyed are interested in having a living funeral. And of course, it's exactly what it is. You're still alive, but you're being celebrated. So perhaps you already know that your time is limited and you have it while you're still alive and you can be with family and friends. Young people, though, this is what's so interesting. 18 to 24-year-olds are almost twice as interested in living funerals. 53% said, yeah, I would be. And just in the past year, the number of search queries have increased by 30%. So it is something that people are thinking about.
Right.
And so I want to pose the question to you before I answer, which is, would you want to have that? Let's just say you know that you are dying.
Mm-hmm.
We're all eventually going to die, duh. But you know that your time is very limited. Would you want to have it while you're still alive?
Yes. And I say that because I've been to one before. I went to one 20 years ago. It was a person that I had gone to church with, and he was diagnosed with, I don't know when he was diagnosed with ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease. I don't know when he was, but I do know that there was a celebration of his life that was going to take place at the church. We had a big cafeteria that was down there, and they had people speaking at it. And he wanted to do it before he started to lose all of his speech and the ability to walk, and he didn't want to do it while in the wheelchair. So they put this on, and I got to tell you, it was beautiful, right? Everybody at the end hugging and talking and laughing, and it was really, truly a celebration and about that moment. And here's what stands out to me. What stands out to me are the real people that are going to be there that are celebrating you while you're here. Mm-hmm. Because there's a lot of people that love to show up to the funeral when you're gone.
Isn't that the truth, too? And how many funerals have you gone to where you've said, man, if only they talked about this person like this while they were alive, or if it were me, I would want to hear this. And so I think this is a beautiful idea. Now, at my recent party, I joked and I actually mentioned, I said, this is how I would imagine. I want my funeral in the future, and I hope it's a long time from now. But I would want it to be a celebration of life. Do not just open up the doors in the church basement and serve cake and punch and call it good. I've told my husband that.
Yeah.
I want to even go deeper than that, though, and say, I want it to be a celebration of life. But at my 60th, I asked several people to make a toast, including you, and that was just the most beautiful thing. It was one of the happiest days of my life.
Good. It was a good time, too.
But to be able to hear while I'm well and I'm in a good place, and to have people tell me, what I mean to them.
Right.
I mean, that is the most beautiful thing.
Now, Ursula, you were in the Philippines with your mother, and there was a certain time where you knew that you would lose your mother.
Yes.
Did you spend that time
telling her?
Telling her, you know what I mean?
With my father, too, and with my brother. I've gone through it 3 times with loved ones. Being there, I was there for my I was there for my mother's last breath, and up until her last breath, I told her over and over again how much she meant to me, how much I loved her, how much we tried to share stories. Even when you're thinking, I don't know if she hears you, they always say the hearing is the last thing to go. And so to talk to them as if they're hearing everything. But I also made a point when she wasn't sick to let her know. I mean, we would have our clashes and all that, but we never went through a period where we weren't talking.
Yeah.
You know, and same with my father and same with my brother. Those are, but again, I would just, not everyone gets that opportunity.
Right.
I didn't have that opportunity with my oldest brother. He died by suicide. I didn't have that opportunity.
And that's, you know what? And I'm sorry about that. That's the part where I would assume that people, and if you're listening right now, maybe you've lost someone suddenly, right? And you wish that you would have that chance. And I know even for me, so the weekend before my father passed away, the weekend before, that weekend I was down in Portland for my son's basketball tournament, and I was busy. And I was also busy with his basketball, and I was also really stressed.
Yes.
And so during that time, he had called me a few times over the weekend, and I would text him and says, hey, I'll call you back. So that weekend, I never called back. On Monday when we came back from Portland, and as a matter of fact, it was a President's Day tournament. That's what it was, because it was in February. On Portland on the way back, I sent him a text and says, hey, I'm getting back from Portland, and I'm actually going to go and I'm going to give my taxes to my accountant. And I said, I'll call you after that. So I went to Kirkland and did that. And on my way from Kirkland, I gave him a call, and we talked on the phone, and he was proud of me for doing my taxes early, he said, right? And so the reason why I'm bringing that up is that I think that if I did not have that final conversation with him, and by the way, the next day after that call is when it happened, if I didn't do that, I don't think I would have ever had any type of closure. If you know what I mean? Not talking to him that weekend, having an opportunity, not talking to him on that Monday, and then Tuesday. Boom.
Yeah.
So
Well, I want to share a couple of things. Okay. We've got a bunch of people texting in now. Heidi in North Bend said, my buddy Dale had a going away party years ago before he died of cancer, and it was incredibly touching. Everyone had a great time. It gave everyone the opportunity to say the things that they wanted to say before he passed, and I think it's a wonderful idea. Why wait for people to mourn you after you die? Kevin in Seattle says, funerals, I hope my family and friends have a party. That said, I wouldn't want to go. I mean...
Yeah,
we know it's inevitable,
right?
But yeah, I mean, if given that opportunity,
our good friend Allison from Stillicum, she listens to the show all the time. Absolutely not for the living funeral. I couldn't do that to my kids. Losing my mom was so traumatic, and the funeral was very difficult. I would never want to experience that feeling more than once.
And I understand that too.
So, is that a good point? Would you? Is that like experiencing it twice, the living funeral and then the funeral?
Well, I think a lot of times you can choose when you actually have the funeral after the person passes.
Yeah.
It can be graveside funeral. It can be very small.
Yeah. Well, that's the first on the Gee and Ursula Show. That was
okay. Well, keep sharing because now I got to read what everyone's saying because the text line did blow up now.
Yes, it did. All right. Text messages. No, excuse me. Scenarios next. Gee and Ursula.
The Jake and Spike Show.
If you are watching on YouTube, you're going to see a giant snake here in just a minute.
Weekdays, noon to 3.
Monroe Reptile Zoo in with us right now. Isaac Peterson joins us.
This is linguini. It's a Burmese python, albino Burmese python.
Albino Burmese python.
Yeah.
Oh, Spike is going to wear him. There we go.
I made the really bad mistake of eating a live mouse before the segment, and maybe he smells it on my breath.
Most people don't get comfortable with Spike that quickly.
I know. It takes most of my co-hosts at least a year.
Watch the Jake and Spike Show live on YouTube or the KIRO Newsradio Newsradio app.
This might be the most surprising statistic I've shared in decades of doing local news. More than 75% of commuters will be involved in a car accident at some point. JP Pendergast of Pendergast Law with more.
What makes it more surprising? The average person will be involved in 3 to 4 collisions in their lifetime.
With accidents unbelievably prevalent, what are some safety tips if it happens to you?
Safety first. Secondary collisions are not uncommon while awaiting help. Turn on those hazards and remain in a safe place. If a bystander witnessed the accident, capture their information and encourage them to remain at the scene. Seek medical attention immediately if needed, as delaying can be a costly mistake. Lastly, remember that statements made to police and insurance adjusters can affect your case.
Collisions are more common than we'd like to think. If you find yourself in one, follow these helpful tips and then call my friends at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one's injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
PendergastLaw.com.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Get in the zone, AutoZone. Summer's almost over, but the heat is pressing on. If you've got battery trouble, stop by AutoZone for free battery testing. It may just need a charge, and we'll do that for free too. If you do need a battery, we've got options starting at just $89.99. And we'll recycle your old battery for free. Now that's a strong start. Don't miss the end of summer sale. Now at AutoZone until September 22nd. Get in the zone, AutoZone. Restrictions apply.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. 1 discount per household.
Bonneville International Radio Station contests are open to participants 18 years of age or older that are residents of Washington State unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contest are not eligible to win unless the station otherwise specifies at its own discretion. Persons who have won in the last 60 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. Full general contest rules are available on mynorthwest.com or in person at the station during regular business hours.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ziprecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Thinking of a Kia EV? Act fast. Thousands in tax credits end September 30th. Visit KiaofEverett.com for our huge selection. Kia of Everett. Simple, easy, fun.
Here's a question. Why are more and more discerning Seattleites choosing Horizon House's new West Tower? They're getting the best views, floor plans, and pre-construction pricing. They're doing it now, and here's why. Because half the residences are already reserved, and they know these advantages won't last. Learn more now at westtowerinfo.org. That's westtowerinfo.org. westtowerinfo.org.
It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Ursula, the text messages, you said they've been coming in.
No, I know. And some people are sharing such beautiful and heartbreaking stories, too.
I just want to acknowledge Tom in Marysville really quick, just in case, Tom, you're not listening at the end of the show. Just want you to know that our heart goes out to you. Tom texted in, wife died 11 years ago from cancer, and daughter 4 months ago due to diabetes. Both drawn out of illnesses, and honestly, after watching them suffer, thankful when it was over. Been bitter ever since, and most likely will never recover.
And to Tom, I actually just texted, and it's just a reminder that when you are the caregiver of someone who is dealing with a long-term illness, so often the caregiver is forgotten about, and then you feel this mixture of relief and then guilt because you're thinking, wait a minute, why am I feeling relief that my loved one is no longer here? But it's just a tremendous amount of stress.
So, Tom, just wanted to let you know we're thinking about you, man. All right, scenarios.
Here we go, yo. So what's the scenario?
Help me figure out what to do here. My husband and I have our 7th anniversary next week. In the past, I've been disappointed, waiting for him to come up with a plan. 3 years ago, I started planning all anniversaries, birthdays, and vacations. But I'm tired of him not taking any initiative. So this year, I have dropped hint after hint, but he's clueless. Am I asking too much for my husband to plan a romantic evening on his own? Honestly, if Facebook didn't remind him that it's our anniversary, he wouldn't remember at all. What should I do? Just go ahead and plan something, or just be disappointed? 888-973-5476. Ursula, you're at the bat first.
Okay, there's a lot of information that is lacking from this, but I will just take it at face value. And I would say you need, if he's not taking your hint, then say it explicitly. I want you to plan our next thing. And just say, if you want me to, I can give you ideas, but I would love for you to be creative about it, because I don't always want to be the one that plans. Now, if he does that, however, and you are disappointed, you cannot go back and now nag at him about being disappointed about what he planned. You know what I'm saying? Because it ends up, and the reason I said I need more information is because have you made it to the point where he doesn't feel like he can do anything right? Yeah. So you might as well just go ahead and plan it? Or is he really that clueless and that maybe, what is it? Not insensitive, but not creative and not very thoughtful. And maybe that's the person that you married. And I don't know if that's going to change. Does he show it that way in other areas? Again, I would just be explicit, though.
Exactly. Ursula, thank you for saying that, because in it, she says, I've given him hint after hint. No!
Yes. Yeah, no.
Stop with the hints. Sweeping statement. Ladies, we can't read your mind. Just tell us, hey, G, this year, I want you to do this and I want this. Don't expect us to come up with this whole thing, because you're going to be disappointed. She just says right now, do I just go ahead and plan something or be disappointed? If you don't want to be disappointed, plan something. It ain't rocket science.
I know. Okay, but I'm going to speak up for the women who just wish that their partner could be more thoughtful and more creative.
Okay, you do a good job of this.
And sometimes you're like, it takes the romance or just the joy out of it if you have to say everything. It's like, can't you, after 7 years, don't you know the different things that would actually make me happy? Aren't there things that you know that would put a big fat smile on my face and maybe an extra skip in my step if you were to do this without me having to tell you, like a mom telling a child? Okay.
I mean,
am I
Ursula,
triggering people right now?
Yeah, you triggering me. I'm trying to do the best that I can.
But
and
I
I'm
would
just
say-
telling
yeah.
you how men operate,
I
Ursula.
know.
We don't catch the hints.
I know.
We
Be
can't read your
explicit.
mind.
But more power to those men or those partners. I'm just going to say partners because it can go both ways. Who actually are creative, who actually think, I think this is something that he or she would really love. And I'm going to do it without them knowing, and I'm going to truly surprise them. Trust me, that's appreciated too.
All right, Paul, you want to help us?
As a young man going through his now over 1 year of marriage, communication is key. And I have learned that to be sometimes I need to be told, hey, just do this. And my wife has actually had this kind of exact same conversation. I'm tired of playing in this stuff. It's your turn. And so I play in the thing and I get it done. You know, sometimes you just need it, but you should take the initiative. And I like what Ursula is saying there. Sometimes you gotta plan ahead.
Communication and what's the other thing I say? Compromise.
Yep. Before I get to you, Nick, I just got to say something. On behalf of all the men in the world, I'm speaking for us right now. It feels like no matter what, if we do this, we're not good at that. If we do that, we're not good at this. If we get you a bedroom, a 6-bedroom house, you wanted an 8-bedroom house. If we get you a 10-bedroom house, you wish you had it a 12-bedroom house. If we get you a 12-bedroom house, you wish it was by the water. If you had it by the water, you wish it was in this state. I mean, damn!
That's a complete exaggeration. But I hear you on that.
Man,
I think sometimes if you second guess what someone thought was a great idea, then you discourage them.
It's
from
enough
coming
to
up with
just
ideas.
put on clean drawers and clean socks.
They love the drama, but it sounds like this lady's love language is gift giving and acts of kindness because she's begging to get something out of him to receive this love she wants. But don't hold your breath either with him because I don't think it's going one ear and out the other with this dude. I think he's getting the signs and he's passing on the hits she's dropping on him. Call him on the bluff if you really want to go out and plan it yourself, but I think she just wants the act and not the event. She just wants the power to have him actually do something. She doesn't care about going out.
Thank you, Nick. And Ursula, when you guys be at those girls' happy hours and those girls get together and you're talking about the things that the husband don't do, does there anybody that steps up in the friend group that says, well, wait a minute now, Lois. You have a great life. Things are going great. We're not going to let you just go off on Charles like this at the dinner table. Do y'all take up for him?
Yeah, they should do that. Oh, wait. Are you speaking?
I'm just saying.
Did
in
I just
general.
step into something?
I'm just saying. It seems like the guy is always getting beat up at that table to get together.
Oh, no.
All right. That was fun.
It was.
Hey, coming up in the 11 o'clock hour, 11:30, we have Agree to Disagree. And then, hey, you know Ursula, she's got to go back to giving you news, so we'll let you know all the news that you need to know.
Well, one of the things we're going to talk about, these new uniforms. Like, if you're a Duck fan, apparently you're going to like the NFL or the Seahawks' new uniform.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about that?
Yeah. And,
Okay.
And you graduated from the University of Oregon. So,
Sure
yeah.
did.
Talk about that next. Gee Ursula.
Subaru has more than 300 new vehicles in stock, like the 2025 Crosstrek, now with 2.9% financing for 48 months. Carter Subaru is the only dealership in Seattle with the 2025 Outback at 0% for 36 months. Head into Carter Subaru Shoreline or Ballard for their A Lot to Love event before August 31st.
On approved credit, subject to vehicle insurance and availability. Not all buyers will qualify for federal tax credit. A documentary service fee may be added to the sale price or capitalized cost. Carter Subaru is buying down the rate for the 2025 Outback. The max amount financed is $20,000. See dealer for details. Valid through 8/31/25. Viking, dedicated to creating travel experiences for the thinking person, with programs designed for cultural enrichment on board and on shore. Discover more at Viking.com.
Let me tell you about this new pretzel cheddar club. Hey, I'm Carlos.
And I'm Ebony. And a little thing we love about the Chick-fil-A Pretzel Cheddar Club
is the tangy Dijon with the pretzel bun. It takes it to a whole nother level.
It goes perfectly with the chicken and the cheddar cheese and the bacon.
Man, you know how much you love bacon. And I love the different varieties. Grilled, spicy, original. It gets you nice and excited for fall.
Order the Pretzel Cheddar Club with Cherry Berry and Sprite for a limited time on the Chick-fil-A app. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
There's nothing like when you get that part from eBay and it just fits. Yeah, the first time. So you can do less of this and get right back to more of this. At eBay, you'll find all the parts you need, guaranteed to fit, at prices you'll love. Sounds good, doesn't it? eBay, things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
The IRS finally caught up with Louie.
I hadn't paid my taxes in 8 years. I owe the IRS a lot of money.
Louie was in deep trouble.
We're going to take your house, put a lien on your bank account, garnish your pay. They don't care. They're going to take your paycheck.
Louie found out about Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $1 billion for their clients.
Optima Tax, they help me. They calm me down. They make me feel comfortable, and I trust them.
Louie has a lot to be thankful for.
I don't owe the IRS anymore, and I'm able to live a comfortable life, a lot better life. It was because of Optima Tax.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation. Take it from Louie.
If you owe the IRS, don't go it alone. Give Optima Tax a call. They can help you.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Let's go!
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at VaxAssist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News. This is CBS News on the Hour. Sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Cammie McCormick. The White House today spoke out about yesterday's Catholic school shooting in Minneapolis. Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt.
This was the first morning mass of the school year for these beautiful, innocent children. And this sacred religious service was desecrated by an evil monster.
We're learning more about the suspect, but as Anna Schechter reports, the information is leading to no clear motive from what he left behind.
Extensive writings and video showing weapons with etchings on them, really hateful language targeting blacks, Hispanics, Jews. So it's really kind of a range of investigative lines that investigators are looking at, not just anti-Catholic hate, but other types of hate as well.
There's some confusion over whether the CDC director still has her job, as CBS's Olivia Rinaldi reports.
The White House says that she is in fact no longer in that position as CDC director. It was just 27 days that she held that role. And I want to note, it's a Senate confirmed role. So the White House nominated her. She went through the process in committee in Senate and then was voted on her nomination and approved. And 27 days later, the White House says that she and her positions on COVID vaccines are not in line with the MAGA movement, with the Make America Healthy Again movement, which is what we have seen coming out of the Department of Health and Human Services. And as a result, she's no longer in that position. But her lawyers say she's going to fight this.
The White House says President Trump is not happy but not surprised by the deadly Russian strikes on Ukraine's capital overnight. European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen.
I'm outraged by the attack on Kyiv, also hitting our EU offices. This was the deadliest drone and missile attack on the capital since July. It shows that the Kremlin will stop at nothing to terrorize Ukraine, blindly killing civilians, men, women, and children, and even targeting the European Union.
The attacks were the worst since President Trump's meeting with Russian President Putin. Jason Brooks reports U.S. economic growth was stronger than previously thought in the second quarter.
The Commerce Department revised second quarter GDP to 3.3% growth
from the previous estimate of 3%, thanks in part to stronger consumer spending. Growth resumed after GDP dipped in the first quarter, primarily the result of businesses front-running tariffs and swelling imports.
The average rate on a 30-year mortgage fell to 6.56% this week. That's the lowest in 10 months. And checking the numbers on Wall Street at this hour, the numbers are higher. The Dow up 22, the Nasdaq is up by 113. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
A day after a mass shooting in Minneapolis, Seattle schools look at bringing back cops. The story coming up at first. In the Tacoma area, just one lane blocked now on State Route 7 near 8th Avenue East. In Des Moines, a crash still partially blocking a lane on I-5 southbound at State Route 516. Travel times, Everett to Seattle, 30 minutes. Federal Way to Seattle, 28. Renton to Bellevue, 26. And your lake bridges are clear. Traffic brought to you by Lake Washington Windows and Doors. Save with 20% inflation discounts and 18 months free financing. LakeWashingtonWindows.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and MyNorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch. 2 firefighters battling the Bear Gulch fire on the Olympic Peninsula have been detained by Customs and Border Patrol agents. I just spoke with the Wildfire Public Information Officer. She confirms to me that there was a CBP operation, but she says it did not interfere with firefighting efforts. The fire is burning on nearly 9,000 acres now. It's only 13% contained. King County agrees to pay $21.5 million to settle a lawsuit brought by a jogger who was viciously attacked by 2 dogs in February of 2022. The dogs were living with squatters at a home in unincorporated Auburn.
People in our neighborhood are getting really upset.
At the time, neighbors like Kristen Purvis told KIRO 7 TV they complained to the county repeatedly about the home and the dogs. As part of the settlement, attorneys say the property owner will sell that home. The principal of the Catholic school at the center of yesterday's mass shooting in Minneapolis.
And we will recover from this.
Has close connections to Seattle. Matthew DeBoer spent 8 years as principal at St. Therese Catholic Academy in the Madrona neighborhood. DeBoer's wife was also a teacher at Holy Names in Seattle. The family moved to Minneapolis in 2022. Well, on the same day as that mass shooting yesterday, the Seattle School Board held a meeting to discuss bringing police officers back to Garfield High School, but with limits. KIRO 7 TV's Samantha Lomibow explains.
Recent Garfield graduates say more should have been done to keep students safe after the shooting death of Amar Murphy Payne in June 2024.
I've seen a whole school year without noticeable real change.
We need someone we can run and get and know that we're going to be safe.
SBS is considering a 1-year pilot program with Seattle Police to get school engagement officers, or SEOs, on Garfield's campus, instead of school resource officers, which were removed district-wide in 2020.
Engagement officers would emphasize talking with and building trust with students. If an arrest was needed, a separate police unit would be brought in. Well, the Seattle Mariners with a series win after their 4-3 victory over the San Diego Padres yesterday, thanks in large part to this guy.
It is gone into the Mariners bullpen. Gino smashes one again.
Eugenio Suarez drove in 3 runs with his 42nd home run of the year. The M's get today off before hitting the road again, heading to Cleveland to take on the Guardians. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Showers tapering off today with highs near 80 at 72 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
It's Gee and Ursula, everybody. I just want to say, every single day I come here, you texters, you guys really make my day. Liz in Tacoma says, my husband can't take a hint, but yet he takes what I actually say as sweeping statements. Like, I don't like the roses means I don't like all flowers. I don't like chocolate ice cream as I don't like chocolate at all. I say just plant something. Good morning, Ursula.
I know a lot of folks are weighing in on that, so keep it up.
Yeah.
Our text line is open for you, 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO. Hey, coming up in Agree to Disagree, we're going to tell you about one particular city government that it turns out they're using ChatGPT for a lot of their government work, and we're curious how you feel about that. I mean, we're talking about things like writing emails to constituents, mayoral letters, policy documents, and more. Would that bother you if you knew that was your city doing that? Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm just going to tell you right now. I'm thinking, what took you so long? Okay, again, 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO.
Top stories at 11
on the Gee and Ursula Show.
And we are tracking a disturbing situation unfolding in Seattle's Belltown neighborhood. In just the past couple of months, the area has seen a big increase in violence, including multiple shootings and stabbings and some violent crimes just this week. In a startling turn, even drug dealers are reportedly seen confronting police. KIRO Newsradio's Luke Ducey has been looking into this, and he joins us live.
Yeah, this story that we came across here, pretty eye-opening. So just this week, there's one woman in Belltown who said she's had enough. She's done with it. She confronted, apparently, a drug dealer who was blocking people from going inside the business that she manages there. This is what she told Jason Rance from Seattle Red 770 AM. She asked this dealer and a group of like 10 people or so who were around that business if they could just kind of go elsewhere. The dealer had some choice words for her, apparently, including 4-letter words, and told her that he had every right to be on that corner doing his business as her business. The dealer apparently then threatened her, said he was coming for her. Listen to this, though. This is what she says that Seattle police said when they showed up to the scene.
Nothing. They moved them along, and there was about 10 people at that point gathered, and they moved them along, but they were back.
So they came back after police moved them down the street. And if you're wondering, finally, because she was threatened, she told Jason Rance if she was scared. Well, this is what she said to that.
No, I was more just disappointed, really, that, this is ongoing and it's every day. It's just I'm tired.
That's pretty powerful right there. Her answer was, I'm not scared, I'm just tired. Tired of it.
Isn't this an area, though, where it's the soda zone, which means stay out of drug area? We talked to the reason I'm bringing this up, we talked to former King County Sheriff John Urquhart yesterday, and he was saying, we asked the question, what if these drug dealers don't move? Well, police can arrest them.
They can arrest them, and what else happens in those soda zones? And yes, to answer your question, this is a soda zone right there. If they're arrested, the courts can say, and a judge can say to them, hey, you're now banned from going back to that area. And they'll, and then the penalties get worse and worse and worse as they go back and they get arrested and arrested and arrested. Well, I mean, in this case, they, obviously the court's not going to be involved because police allegedly told her or told them to move down the way. This woman says that she's seen, and other people have too. I know Charlie Harger was down there walking around just last week looking at things. I don't suggest anyone just go down and look at the open-air drug markets there in Blanchard, but they do exist. I've seen open-air drug markets in part of the cities, in different soda areas as well. But this woman says she's witnessed people overdosing there, obviously high. The drug of choice is fentanyl in the area. But, there's also things like smoke, secondhand smoke from people smoking these powerful drugs like that. This is also the same area, the same block in this area where a 47-year-old man was shot in the leg just on Tuesday. I covered that case just a couple of days ago. No arrests in that case, but again, that involved an argument in this area where drugs are prevalent, and then there's a shot. This guy's shot in the middle of the day. He's bleeding. He's taken to the hospital. He's in stable condition, but there's a lot of violence, a lot of drugs, and it doesn't seem to be getting better.
Okay, so what is the Seattle Police Department's response? I mean, moving it along is not a good option. That's not solving the problem. Why aren't they being arrested?
That's a good question. And they would tell you that crime is that they are making a dent. I mean, look, here's their official answer. They're not answering questions about this specific incident, but here's their official answer to your question overall: that crime is down, and that they're doing a good job of bringing the crime statistics bear it out. that the crime is down.
Yeah, and the go ahead, G, please.
Real quick. In this specific case, not any other case, this one right here. So these guys were selling drugs in this area, and then they said the four-letter word towards the business owner, and they told her that we had the right to be here, do business just as much as she does. So they do all of these things. They stayed there until law enforcement showed up, and when law enforcement showed up, law enforcement just said, hey, can you guys move down the street?
Yeah. That's what she says happened. Yeah.
And I would say then we have to ask Seattle police to give us an actual official statement as to what their policy is when it comes to that, because I can't believe that. I mean, again, how do you solve a problem if there is no enforcement? Now this soda area has passed along with the soap area to keep out prostitution along Aurora. And if it's not enforced, again, where's the teeth? Why? And you can't just point to statistics and say crime is actually down. The other thing that we loved about with the former sheriff yesterday, when you say crime is down, if you are the victim of a crime, you're not going to care what the statistics say. Or if you feel like you can't do your business because there are drug dealers out there right in front of your business making people feel unsafe. I mean, that's just crazy. So we need to do follow-up on this one.
Absolutely, yes. And I would also say this, though, if we're going to be debating the other side, I would just throw in the other side. It could be. I don't know because we have to get to the bottom of these, get these answers. But how do probable cause? Let's talk about a situation if you're an officer and you come into that scene and you've got an allegation of drug dealing. If you don't have video of it or you don't have the transaction or sting operation, what's the probable cause not only to make an arrest for allegedly drug dealing, but also to search that person? I don't know the exact answers, but I don't know if you can just there's something called a Terry search if they're, we can get into the weeds and this stuff. But anyway, those are on the other side of that. There are questions about that. But bottom line, I think to your point, is that people are fed up enough to confront people, and the response, which is eye-opening and shocking, is apparently this person said, I have every right to conduct business here doing what I'm doing as you're doing in your business.
Thank you, Luke.
You bet.
We'll continue to look into that as well. Okay, I want to lighten things up because we need to talk about the Seahawks and their new jerseys. This is the first thing. Actually, Luke mentioned it too.
Yeah, Luke. Yeah, Luke liked them new uniforms and everything.
Okay.
And by the way, everything that I say now, this is all from Luke Ducey. As soon as I walked in this morning, he was talking about the uniforms. And did you mention what? No.
I didn't leave. I stayed. I was taking them off my earphone. I was heading out. And then
what university did this?
They look like the Oregon Ducks, don't they? I think they do.
You for sure do. And no doubt about it. Oregon Ducks started this stuff 20 years ago of having the different uniforms and everything. And Ursula, all I know is this. Right now, at a time where it is getting ready to be the first of the month, people are worried about paying rent. People are worried about paying mortgage. We're talking about back to school, kids going off to college. And guess what? Hey, honey, I need to buy this new jersey.
And they're cheap, right?
I don't even know it. I would assume without even looking.
Okay, so
when they are for sale.
Let me give you a few specifics, okay? So, because it's almost a visual here, but this new line is called the Rivalries. And each of the jerseys have specific names. It's called the High Decibel Zone, and it's mostly white jersey with green on the shoulders. And there's supposed to be a sound wave inspired pattern that's used down the pant stripes to create a ripple effect across the jersey's shoulders.
Okay.
And then there's a 12 that sits on the back of the neck, while repeating 12s are featured inside those numbers.
Ooh-wee.
And the light wolf gray background evokes Seattle's city skyline. This is from ESPN. The Seahawks will pair the jersey with navy pants. Why did you think it looked duck-like? It's just because of that.
Have you seen it? It totally looks duck-like. Yeah, when you see it, the shoulders and everything. First of all, it looks incredible. I love it.
Okay, because a lot of people are hating on the Ducks and all their new uniforms and how many uniforms they have. We're talking about Oregon Ducks and the Phil Knight money that's used for the Oregon Ducks.
How long have the Oregon Ducks been talked about in the last 20 years when it comes to pop culture? Why are everybody talking about the Oregon Ducks? And just like everybody's talking about, the NFL has figured it out.
Yes. This is a money grab. Is that what you're telling me?
I didn't say that. You know I can get in trouble.
Yeah, okay. You're just saying that people will want to invest in these new uniforms.
I mean, aren't you, Luke?
And it is an
Luke,
investment.
Are you going to get a jersey?
I was going to add, I looked at them and I didn't like them, but let's be clear, I'm going to buy one.
See?
I'm going to get one, but it's growing on me a little bit. The more I look at it, it's growing on me. I like the wolf gray is the official name of the color of the jersey, like that whitish grayish kind.
Yeah.
I like those.
How about this, though, Luke? I did a quick search. Suggested retail price. This isn't official. It was just on some suggested retail price.
$250.
$200.
Okay.
You take.
Well, that's a jersey.
But this would be good actually for the reset, G. Whose jersey are you buying?
I mean,
Seahawks.
I go. You know what I do?
No. What player?
What player?
Oh, this is a good question. Can I give my answer?
Yeah.
Okay. I always go with the same player. I have like 3 jerseys, and I always get the same player, and it's because Cam Chancellor. And I'll tell you because I'm from Virginia. He's from Virginia Tech player. I think it was a great Seahawk, and you can't go wrong with that. It's not like a player who's going to leave the team in a year. He is Seahawks royalty. Come on.
Okay, here's a very good exercise, and this is important. The Gee and Ursula Show aims to do everything and all for the people. Ursula, we need your help. The fellas need your help. You see, right now, these new jerseys will come out here pretty soon, and they'll be able to buy. Well, there's a lot of people that already have this jersey, they have that jersey, and these jerseys. And here's an opportunity to buy one more jersey. Ursula, can you give us some help on how we can explain to our significant other how we do need to buy this next jersey? Because there's a lot of people, and I'm sure somebody's going to say, Harold, you already have 3-4 jerseys. Why do you need this jersey?
Because you want to stay current. You want to also have an extra spark in your life and your step, and it's only going to make your wife that much happier.
Ooh, I like how you get down, Ursula.
You got to make it so that she gets something out of it. Or better yet, I will give you the equivalent amount of money and you can do whatever you want with this money. And you can buy something special for you.
Oh, they call that the guilty pleasure buy. Yes. What do you got there, Luke Ducey?
You are the smartest woman I've met in a long time.
Because you always have to make it.
That's right.
How
this is going to benefit you?
Now, do you do this, Ursula? Would you just plan something like, hey, Friday night, I figured let's go out to dinner, and you go out to dinner
to her favorite place, not yours.
But don't even bring up the jersey.
Yes.
Just go to our favorite place, and then on Saturday, go buy that jersey.
Yes.
And you good.
Yes.
All right. So just want to make sure you guys are getting it. Boy, I tell you, and the timing of this going into Labor Day, back to school. Oh, man, beautiful.
Hey, thank you, Luke, by the way. Okay, we got to talk. This is a big weekend for Paul Holden and other fans of video games because there's the Penny Arcade Expo. That's in town. There are a bunch of music shows as well. And, Paul, you're going to tell us about a local video game developer who is going to have music from his game performed live this weekend?
Yeah, this is actually really cool. This is a story. If you're familiar with games, and I know you parents out there, your kids, or even you, might have talked about the game Stardew Valley. This guy solo developed his own game. His name's Eric Baroni. He's also known by his other name of Concerned Ape. That's his kind of developer name. But for 4.5 years, Baroni made a game by himself. From the ground up. He coded the game, and that includes the music here. And after all of that work, the game, went off to be a pretty big success here. And this is what he told me.
So after 4.5 years, I had this game complete. It was called Stardew Valley. I released it. I didn't think it was going to be that big, but it pretty quickly started selling a lot of copies. And now, it's been out for almost 10 years. And it's sold well over 40 million copies across all platforms. So it's become a very big thing. It's totally changed my life.
40 million copies sold from just this guy's game that he made after graduating from the University of Washington here. And now, as part of, there's a bunch of celebrations going on this weekend, as it's the biggest weekend in video games here in the Pacific Northwest with PAX going on. But over at Ben Royal Hall, the Seattle Symphony is taking his music to life. And it's been really cool because they specifically did this. They started here in Seattle because of his connections here.
The opening night will be the first time that I actually hear the 35-piece orchestra playing the music. It's like I've seen the arrangements. I've heard basically MIDI files of the arrangements, but I haven't actually seen the 35-piece live orchestra playing this music. So for me, it'll also be like, I'm kind of on the edge of my seat.
I just how cool would that be for something that you work so hard to then see it taken and breathe this whole new life? And for a game, this is 10 years in the world of video games, 10 years to have that legacy and for people to still talk about it. My wife still plays this game every year, every so often. So
time out. Riley and Kameno just texting. He's going to be at Ben Royal Hall. He's 23. He's taking his friend. What am I missing? What am I missing with this whole video game world? You get so damn happy about it. It's a big deal. As soon as you start talking about it, what am I missing?
For me, it's just
escape.
Yeah, escape, and for this one especially, this game, you run a farm. Your whole thing is you own your own farm, and you have a little village that you can kind of talk to all the people. That's basically the really, really short version of the game. But not only is it escapism, but there's just so much quality in video games. There's so many of them, but it's a very interactive art form that can teach you things or, show you different perspectives, or in this case, just good music too. So there's just so many elements of it.
I would love to hear a little snippet of the music.
Oh, I don't have it on me with you, but
Josh in Auburn is texting. He's a video. Some of you guys are coming out right now.
Did you see what he said? He says Stardew Valley is a phenomenal game for all ages. Honestly, he said this is a solo developer who was able to hold his own against games like Minecraft.
Yep.
He says we've been following him and his games since before it became a big hit. And unfortunately, he's not attending PAX this year, but need to make this event. That's very cool. So
you guys,
Ben Royal Hall.
Yep. It's mostly sold out, but there's tickets available for the matinee. So this is a 4-show experience that they're doing, and they've sold out
4 shows,
and they've sold out 3 out of the 4.
Nick, you down with video games, bro?
I love video games, but I didn't know people were so invested in the music like this.
I mean, people are texting in right now. You guys are serious about this stuff.
I think this will be like the 3rd or 4th video game music related show I've seen at Ben Royal. The Seattle Symphony does such an awesome job with their pop culture stuff. It's not just video games. Go see when they do a movie and they play the soundtrack live as the movie plays. They bring such awesome life and energy into this music as well. They do such a great job. So shout outs to them as well.
Ursula, any of your kids play video games?
They sure do. I just saw that my son used my Amazon Prime account to buy a new thing for a Switch. No, he paid. He paid with his own money.
Man.
Yeah, it's a thing.
It's a thing. All right. Coming up next, it's time for Agree to Disagree. Gee and Ursula.
This hour is brought to you by DUI Heroes. The John Curley Show.
I told my wife once that you can tell the temperature outside.
Weekdays 3 to 7.
You count the number of chirps that a cricket makes in 15 seconds, and you multiply that by 4, and that tells you the outside temperature. All right, you know what?
What kind of formulas?
I'm going to look it up. And you know what? You're going to be eating your words in there, Mr. Laffy, traffic, laffy.
Okay. The John Curley Show. Weekdays 3 to 7. Watch The John Curley Show live on YouTube.
The IRS finally caught up with Louie.
I hadn't paid my taxes in 8 years. I owed the IRS a lot of money.
Louie was in deep trouble.
We're going to take your house, put a lien on your bank account, garnish your pay. They don't care. They're going to take your paycheck.
Louie found out about Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $1 billion for their clients.
Optima Tax, they help me. They calm me down. They make me feel comfortable, and I trust them.
Louie has a lot to be thankful for.
I don't owe the IRS anymore, and I'm able to live a comfortable life, a lot better life. It was because of Optima Tax.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation. Take it from Louie.
If you owe the IRS, don't go it alone. Give Optima Tax a call. They can help you.
Call 800-972-0588. 800-972-0588. 800-972-0588.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Let's go! You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. It's the Sleep Number biggest sale of the year. All beds on sale up to 50% off the limited edition smart bed. Plus free premium delivery with any smart bed and adjustable base. Ends Labor Day. All Sleep Number smart beds offer temperature solutions for your best sleep. Check it out at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com today.
Some things can steal your sunshine.
Ugh, I just got my hair done.
Sorry, the cooler's broken. Anyone see my flip-flops? Anyone?
But COVID-19 can steal a lot more.
I just took a COVID test. Ugh.
Prescription medications for COVID exist. If you test positive this summer, ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com/COVID-19 to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
The insurance world, it can be confusing. So have First Mark Insurance guide you through it by taking the free First Mark Challenge. They'll explore offerings from top carriers for better coverage and lower rates. They save the Heward family thousands. Go to firstmarkinsurance.com.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Real Success. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at ourrealsuccess.com.
Do you want to learn how to make money flipping houses and acquiring rental properties right here in Seattle without using your own money? You'll learn to flip houses and secure rental properties in your spare time to get on track towards real wealth building. We're offering a handful of motivated individuals the opportunity to attend our workshop right here in Seattle for free. That's right, we'll give you 2 free tickets when you text FREE to 64,000. Seattle is the perfect market to flip houses and build rental income. Don't miss this opportunity. Come to a complimentary live 2-hour workshop next week right here in Seattle and learn how to start making money flipping homes and building long-term wealth with rental properties. To get 2 free tickets, text FREE to 64,000. Text in the next 10 minutes, and registrants will also receive a free copy of our Funding for Deals guide. Text FREE to 64,000 for 2 complimentary tickets. Text FREE to 64,000.
Hey, college students, get 5% off at Safeway with your student ID in the app. With FreshPass, save on produce and enjoy free delivery. EBT users get additional savings. Visit Safeway.com/4U. That's FOR in the letter U.
Struggling to stay cool? Choose Lake Washington Windows and Doors and experience significant heat reduction and up to 30% savings on your utility bills. Visit LakeWashingtonWindows.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and MyNorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch. Customs and Border Patrol agents have detained 2 firefighters battling the Bear Gulch wildfire on the Olympic Peninsula. Witnesses telling the Seattle Times agents told members of 2 private contracting crews to line up. They spent hours scrutinizing IDs and then took the 2 into custody. Fire Information Officer Rachel Lipsky is referring questions to Border Patrol, but adds,
the Border Patrol operation is not interfering with firefighting activity, and Bear Gulch firefighters continue to make progress on the fire.
The fire's burning on nearly 9,000 acres and is 13% contained. The Department of Homeland Security is moving detainees out of the controversial Alligator Alcatraz ICE detention facility in the Florida Everglades after a judge ruled environmental laws were violated. Trump border czar Tom Homan.
I thought it was a great transition facility, but I do think ICE needs more brick and mortar facilities. We've got the money now to build infrastructure like we're building the wall and other things down there. We need permanent facilities.
A Catholic church in Seattle reacts to the deadly shooting during a Minnesota school mass yesterday. KIRO News Radio's Gwen Baumgardner with that story.
Only hours after a gunman opened fire outside a Minneapolis mass, parishioners gathered at St. James Cathedral in Seattle.
We're not going to stop praying. We're not going to stop gathering in churches like this.
That's Father Michael, who led the midday mass, calling for not just prayers, but greater gun control. Gwen Baumgardner, KIRO News Radio.
In Minnesota, the search continues for a motive in the shooting that left 2 children dead and 17 injured, shot while praying. But Police Chief Brian O'Hara says
this is just this is a deranged individual who, like so many other mass shooters, has had an obsession with previous mass shootings that was looking to cause as much trauma and carnage as possible for their own personal notoriety.
The 23-year-old shooter killed himself. Overseas, at least 17 people dead after an hours-long barrage of Russian drone and missile strikes in Ukraine's capital.
The sirens started yesterday evening and they went through until early this morning. Throughout the night, we could hear Ukrainian air defenses trying to intercept the drones and the missiles.
That's the BBC's Katie Watson. On Wall Street, the Dow is up 31 points. NASDAQ ahead 131. KIRO News Radio traffic. Here's Nate Connors.
Hey, thanks, Heather. ProSculpt has our update. We're looking good out there. No collisions, at least, to report. Over at Tiger Mountain, road work is slowing your eastbound 18 commute, though, over the summit to the Deep Creek work zone. That's a 3-mile backup. South 5 through JBLM, another 3-mile bumper-to-bumper backup here near the main gate. Tacoma to Olympia is at 45 minutes. North 405 through Renton is heavy through the S-curves. Renton to Bellevue is a 25-minute commute. Heading into Seattle, North 5, a little crowded from Albro up to Mercer. South 5 is crowded from Northgate in the downtown. Linwood to Seattle's at 20 minutes. And out Monroe, eastbound 2, you're in about a 2 to 3 miles solid backup as you head into downtown. ProSculpt, the one-day permanent fat loss and skin tightening solution for men and women, offered by New Skin Med Spa in Bellevue. Book your free consultation at prosculpt.com. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Showers tapering off with highs near 80 today. It is 72 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the Gee and Ursula Show. And if you're thinking, boy, this is decidedly different music, it is because it is the music from Stardew Valley, right?
Yes, exactly right. So this is some of the stuff you'll hear. And remember, this is all done with just the video games and the computer screens, basically, as he told me. But the Seattle Symphony is going to bring this to life with a 35-piece live band this weekend.
Okay. That's so awesome.
So
okay.
I just want to make sure this is straight. Like, as you all know, just full transparency, behind the scenes, Paul is a producer of the Reset podcast that I do. We're going to be doing this after the show. So I'm just totally love Paul. But I make fun of him every day. I call him a nerd. I talk about his video game obsessions and going out to interview the video games. But I'm finding out
yes,
that a
maybe
lot
you're
of
the nerd.
Yeah. Like, I got a text from Emily in Kirkland. She says, my fiance was so excited when I told him that you were talking about Stardew. He's going to watch when he gets home. Like, you mean to tell me, like, people would want to hear Paul talk about video games twice a month?
And there's PAX this weekend, so
yeah, it's a huge weekend for me. But speaking of that, G, actually, if you are curious, because I was shocked to see how many people on the text line are this. On the KIRO YouTube channel, I have about a 15-minute conversation where we dive in. I talk to the developer, Eric, there a lot more. We get into a lot more detail. So if you do want to learn more about the game, if you want to hear more about the show that's coming up, there is a full interview that I did with him available
on our YouTube.
Yeah, it's on the KIRO YouTube. It's right up there. So once you're done listening to the show, in between Gee and Ursula and Jake and Spike, you can go and check out the interview there. Because
that is fantastic. Thank you, Paul.
Of course.
Opening up our horizons here. Okay. Let's do our Agree to Disagree segment brought to you by Guardian Roofing and Gutters.
One of these days, we just got to take off the gloves. Just really go at it.
All right, from video games to another world of technology. Yes, we can't stop talking about AI, and that even is happening in our government official buildings. Everett officials, this comes from the Everett Herald here, among others in Washington, are using ChatGPT for government work. Records are showing that public servants have used generative AI to write emails to constituents, mayoral letters, policy documents, and more. Ursula, should AI be in our local governments or government at all?
I'm going to say yes with a big caveat, and that is that there has to be very strong human oversight still. Because with AI, it is a fantastic tool, and I am diving into it more and more every single day. But bottom line, AI is still fraught with all sorts of things that you need to be catching as a human. And a lot of times when you're putting that, it's only as good as the information that you put in. And when that information comes back to you, it can save a lot of time. But if you're not looking through it, you're going to miss. There are all sorts of mistakes that can come up, and it still needs human intervention. So it can't just be, it's going to take care of all of this, and no one's going to be looking over it. Ultimately, the government, whether it's the city of Everett, is responsible for that, what the communication that goes out, and that includes any potential mistakes or missed nuances or context that is missing. So you've got to make sure that you have a human looking at it. But I think we're all at some point going to be using AI for just about everything.
If y'all notice, I haven't looked as much as fat as I've been in the past, and so what's happened is guys, I've lost some weight, and I want to just tell you how I've done that. AI. AI has helped your boy lose weight. Like I have it on my weight training schedule, and it also has me on my meal plan. And the reason why I'm bringing this up, I'm being serious, but also being funny at the same time. I'm bringing it up because, Ursula, your point about it being like, even with my meal plan, there have been times that it forgot what I ate earlier in the day. I'm like, come on now. I call it coach. Coach, you tripping. You missed that. Oh, I'm going to tighten up, it says to me the other day. By the way, when they use tighten up, I thought, I've been talking to you way too much.
Yes.
Because it's starting to sound like me.
Oh, no, it's exactly.
You know what I mean?
It's frightening and both incredible,
right,
incredulous.
So
but
what I'm saying is you are the one that wasn't gloom and doom. I used to be gloom and doom about AI. I'm not so much anymore because I just think that whatever your job is, I think it can and has the possibility to make you better at that job. I do think in government, it can make them better at their jobs. Things can come more efficient. So, for example, we're always talking about, let's take, hey, builders, how about permits, right? Does permits take a long time to go through? Maybe with AI, permits can happen and be cleared even faster, 40% faster than what they've done in the past because AI has helped with some other things. So I'm all for AI.
And I think the government agencies need to have very clear guidelines. And in all transparency, this is something that we're working on here at KIRO Radio as well, and Bonneville as a company. I mean, we are in the communication business. If you're using AI, what is the proper usage? What kind of guidelines do you have? When is it appropriate? When should you be transparent? And again, there's a lot of things that we haven't figured out, but I'm not shocked as long as, again, someone is overlooking what AI is generating.
Kristen Everett says AI is the devil, don't fall for it, to which I say, if you can Google, then you can AI.
Yeah, I mean, and they blend it together. But should they say, hey, we used say it's a press release, for example. Should you say this was, sections of this was generated using ChatGPT?
Well, I would. I'd throw it in there. Keep it transparent.
Yeah, because you could ask ChatGPT something, and it gives you the sources, and it gives you 10 links specifically on that topic, and then boom, you click the link, and hopefully it's a favorable, reputable publication that has done the research.
But look what you just said. Hopefully favorable, reputable, and that's what is not figured out with AI.
Yeah,
and that's where it's all again only as good as the input.
Yeah, it give you some hoochie websites, I tell you that.
Oh, wait a minute.
Oh.
Because we were talking about Stardew Valley, I think that's it.
Yeah, we had. I heard the audio, so I wasn't sure if we should dive in. But before we go, my last thing on the AI thing. How do you feel about it summarizing bills for politicians? We've heard that here's this 250 page spending bill. How would you feel about sending that through ChatGPT and possibly making your vote off of an AI summary of that bill?
I think a lot of people are doing that right now. Do you think more people are reading the 250-page summaries?
Or sending it through AI?
No.
I agree with that.
Yes.
Yeah. Man, I don't know. Ursula, you got to figure out what happened today. The 9 o'clock hour took 17 hours. Then the 10 and 11 o'clock hours took 30 minutes.
It's because we were hitting heavy news in the 9 o'clock hour.
Man, that 9 o'clock hour.
I'll take the blame.
Yeah.
If it's very newsy, it's me.
In America is always good to blame somebody, make somebody the boogeyman.
I know. I'm the boogie girl.
Text messages, feedback, and then we'll have Ursula's words to live by.
The Northwest's trusted news source, KIRO News Radio.
Police in Federal Way are investigating what appears to be a car explosion.
KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey is live from the neighborhood.
I can't tell you enough how crazy this scene is here.
Coverage you depend on.
A massive police presence in Kent.
From voices you know and trust.
We have an active fire inside one of these buildings here.
KIRO News Radio on 97.3 FM, the app, YouTube, and your smart speaker.
At Urbanize, they know that eye emergencies don't take weekends off, which is why they don't either. As people are taking off all over the country, skilled optometrists and staff are on site at Urbanize 7 days a week, ready to provide urgent eye care for patients across Kirkland and surrounding areas. It's G. Scott here to tell you about the best place when it comes to your eye frames there is. Urbanize in the heart of Kirkland Urban is right there across from the QFC. They offer same-day appointments and accept walk-ins during operating hours when availability permits. But again, emergencies are always welcome. They can treat wide range of eye emergencies, eye injuries, foreign objects in the eye, infections in the eye, severe redness, and all. Urbanize, they're experts at working with insurance. Go and see why Dr. Dama and her team are the best. Schedule an appointment today at myurbanize.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Looking for high-quality assisted living that won't drain your life savings? At Care Partners Living, we offer compassionate care at a price that helps stretch and preserve your estate. No unnecessary luxury, just the support you need with dignity and heart. And if you ever need to convert to Medicaid, you don't have to move. With communities across Washington and Arizona, including new locations in Port Orchard, Sumner, Mercer Island, and North Creek Bothell, there's a Care Partners community near you. Care Partners Living, compassionate care and peace of mind. Visit carepartnersliving.com.
Progressive knows we all crave validation.
Girl, you are not 37.
I would have guessed 27.
You guys are too sweet.
Sure, dewy skin. Terrific.
Is something wrong, Ned?
Why would you ask? Just because today marks my 10th anniversary without a car accident or even a speeding ticket? But somehow, tonight's all about your skincare.
Wow. With Snapshot from Progressive, you can get a personalized rate based on how you drive. And that's all the validation you need. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Snapshot not available in California or from all agents. Surcharge possible for unsafe driving.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with a Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Hey, Brock Hewitt here with Shannon O'Kelly, President and CEO of IRG Physical and Hand Therapy, inviting you to come work with IRG. And Shannon, what kind of staff are you looking for at IRG?
Brock, we're looking for all kinds of clinical staff, physical therapists, occupational therapists, athletic trainers, certified occupational therapy technicians, physical therapy assistants, you name it on the clinical side. We are looking for those folks. But we are really looking for folks that want to come to an organization that want to be part of our culture and change the culture and work with us to provide the best care and service we can to our patients, our team, and our community. So those clinical people out there, we're looking for you. We also provide advanced certification. We want to provide you mentorship. We want you to grow personally and professionally here at IRG.
And with over 40 clinics throughout the Pacific Northwest, you've got the opportunity to work in the city you want. Just head over to irgpt.com/careers. That's irgpt.com/careers.
Having your vehicle serviced is our stress-free promise at Subaru of Puyallup, with convenient service hours from 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. 6 days a week. Subaru of Puyallup, your stress-free dealership. Schedule now at SubaruofPuyallup.com.
Hi, I'm Justin Shirley. We offer zero down, zero interest, and zero payments for 24 months on new roofs. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF now. State Roofing and Exteriors, held to a higher standard since 1968.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have Leaf Filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/radio to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/radio for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
Save 50 to 75% by combining tax credits, rebates, and incentives on a new heat pump from Home Comfort Alliance. Visit homecomfortalliance.com.
With football season comes cooler weather, so if you need new windows and doors, don't drop the ball. Steve Rabel here. Call on locally owned Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington to tackle your project. Their wide selection of windows and doors always beats the competition, and they'll give you top-notch customer service with no trick plays. Schedule a free consultation with Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Go to PellaPNW.com. That's PellaPNW.com.
It's Gee and Ursula. I got to tell you, if you guys see how much fun, you know what? We have fun on the show.
Yes, we do.
We have fun on the show.
Just Gee just cracks me up. Even when I'm stressed or exhausted. Gee, you just have a way of making me forget all about it. Okay.
Well, the thing is, if you're not constantly laughing, then you're really just almost constantly crying.
What's the point?
So
exactly.
you might as well laugh.
Exactly.
All right, Ursula, what you got?
Our 9 o'clock hour, which Gee said felt like 17 hours.
Yeah.
We hit a lot of tough topics, including the fact that King County is paying out more than $21 million after vicious dogs attacked a woman and nearly killed her. And the neighbors had complained about that nuisance property more than 70 times. Christy on Bainbridge said, it's the squatters' rights that is the problem. Seattle has been too loosey-goosey about, we can't make them move. As a landlord, it's nearly impossible with the existing laws to get people out of there. And that needs to change. And Gee, we were laughing so hard that now you've got something caught in your throat.
So
we'll move down to the ICE crackdowns in Washington.
Yep. Keep going.
And Greg from Salties texted in and said, I have known and I'm sure I continue to know many undocumented workers. My first thought is, I hope you don't get caught. We are treating people like animals these days. And then
Mark in Edmond says, immigration as a whole Unlike some of the Americans who see them as the ones building their homes, picking the crop, I am an immigrant. And yes, legal, who chose to become a citizen, but nonetheless an immigrant. I'm an electronic engineer, and many of us are in tech, hospital, aviation, and so forth industries. The immigrant is also the neighbor with the nice house in the nice neighborhood as well.
And you're on fire, Mark. For that matter, I mean, you could say we're all immigrants, but I'm a relatively recent immigrant. Moved here in 1978 and only became
30 years ago. 32 years ago.
An American citizen.
33 years ago?
No, gee, your math is off. 1978? I've been here at KIRO.
No. When did you become a U.S. citizen?
Oh, God, you were good.
Come on, now.
Okay, never mind. Okay, regarding the mass shooting in Minneapolis, Jeremy in North Bend said the difference between the U.S. and all the countries that you guys named that changed their gun laws is that the U.S. is a business. Whatever makes a ton of money gets a pass, and in this case, it's guns.
Ooh. Good stuff, Jeremy. Cam in the 253 says, I'm a gun owner and believe in 2A rights, but we're not doing a good enough job in society with background checks. Very limited information about mental health gets transmitted to the gun background. According to Google, only if you have been involuntarily committed
to a facility
Go ahead,
or found not guilty by reason of insanity will it be flagged in background checks. We need to include more than that. He says that's a small percentage of people who are mentally unstable. I think drug tests wouldn't hurt either. It's already a law that you cannot buy guns if you use drugs, so prove it. And he says in capital letters, prosecute parents who don't lock up their guns. And then we're going to go to scenarios. The wife who complains that her husband never plans birthdays and anniversaries. I love this one. I want to say it's from Josh, but I forgot to write who said it. As a guy married 18 years, come on, fellas. Don't play like you need somebody to tell you specifically what to do if you can't take a moment and dig a little deeper and be a little creative. We all know that you're really not trying. It's not that difficult to plan something. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to cost a bunch of money. Even if it's something as simple as going to some special garage sale weekend, if that's what your wife is into, you can plan something. It's just pure laziness, he says, when guys say, I can't read your mind. Gee is right now having a hard time talking.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you would have a response.
Yeah.
Are you okay?
Yeah, no.
We don't have need to have any more sick people related to the show.
Something in my throat.
Oh, boy.
I don't know what it is.
Oh,
Balls.
no. Okay.
What do you get?
Well, I'm going to keep it short and sweet. How's that? This is a quote from Bruce Lee. Because I was thinking about respect, the word respect. Knowledge will give you power, but character will give you respect.
Ooh.
Always got to remember that.
A clear throat will give you life.
Yeah.
What do you got there, Nick?
Well, I never thought I'd ponder the idea of showing up to a funeral for myself with celebrations, toasting cups, and I think it would be fun to be invited for this time, but I might get scared if the one who passed at the party comes back alive. Though I know a perfect gift would be that newer Seahawks thread. Even if it's looking strange at first, it'll grow on you in your head. Just like the funeral party at first. It might be weird at first, but it'll come around there for you.
That's good stuff.
Yes. Thank you for that wrap up, Nick.
I was at the Mariner game yesterday with my homeboy Cornelius. Shout out to my homeboy Cornelius. He does all the garbage down there, down south. We were at the game, and at the game, we get ready past the Mariner. It was a little pro shop or whatever, buy some Mariner stuff. And he says, "Oh, hold on, let me." So he goes and buys a shirt for somebody. And I was thinking to myself, man, I don't ever just be out and about and like, oh, you know what? I should just go and buy a shirt for, like, you know what I mean? So what I'm saying is,
you don't ever do that.
No, I don't just randomly like, oh, you know what? That would be cute. Oh, I just don't.
See, I
don't think.
That.
I don't think that way.
Did he inspire you to maybe think that way more often?
Hell no. It just got me to the point, just showing me things that I don't do. Hey, Ursula, you can't be perfect at everything, and it's okay.
You know how B in Puyallup always comes up with some crazy thoughts?
Yeah.
He thinks you're having a living funeral on the air right now.
We celebrate.
You'll be okay.
Hey, thanks, Ursula.
Thank you.
Hey, thank you, Paul, for coming in last minute.
Of course.
And I know we won't see you tomorrow. Hey, thank you, Nick.
You too, man.
All right. Hey, the Jake and Spike Show comes in next, and y'all know what to... Matter of fact, text in. What is tomorrow? Text in and make sure you put an extra tss. Appreciate you for listening. Love you for that. And as always, be kind.
Hope you have as much fun as we have. So long, everybody.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Ready to elevate your everyday? Quince has the Luxe Staples Insider Swear By, minus the markup. From 100% European linen styles and 14-karat gold jewelry to gorgeous leather bags and elevated home finds, Quince has it all. And by partnering directly with top artisans and ethical factories, Quince delivers premium quality at half the cost of similar brands. Discover everyday luxury without the markup at Quince. Go to quince.com/style upgrade for free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/style upgrade.
When you own a business, it feels like everything's on you. Orders, deliveries, employees, on you. That's why Comcast Business is giving you a year of mobile on us with your internet service. Really? Yep. We'll cover your first line of mobile for 1 year. So calling customers, getting directions, texting Janine and shipping, on us. The broken coffee maker? That one's still on you, which means you'll save hundreds for your business and get the fastest mobile service with 5G cellular and Wi-Fi hotspots on us. But hurry, this deal won't last long. Get a mobile plan and free up the budget to maybe, I don't know, fix that coffee maker? Get mobile on us for 1 year, you guessed it, on us. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 10/9/25. Restrictions apply. New mobile customers only with internet standard service or above. Limited to value of 1 unlimited intro-line apply via 12 monthly internet bill credits. 1 discount per account. Fastest mobile based on mobile Wi-Fi and cellular data in service areas. Ookla Speed Test Intelligence 2H24.
Gee and Ursula, weekdays from 9 to noon on KIRO News Radio.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. 1 discount per household.
Hey, college students, Safeway is giving you 5% off. That's right. Junior colleges, tech schools, universities, just verify your student ID in the app. Unlock exclusive deals and shop on the app or in person. Better yet, subscribe to Fresh Pass to get free delivery and other special offers. Remember, if you use EBT, Fresh Pass is 50% off and you get savings on fresh produce. For all the details, visit Safeway.com/4U. That's Safeway.com/FOR and the letter U.
You've still got it, but your immune system weakens as you age, making it hard to fight flu, pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Ask your doctor which vaccines you need. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1 to